What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
We're getting closer to the weekend, Deke. So everything is good, man. Can't complain. It's a little warmer today, too, man. So shout out to that. But how my dog, man? What's the word with you?
Yeah, I'm good. Crazy. What about, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees?
Yeah.
The difference can make.
No, seriously, man. About to say, because what? We were sitting at, I think it was 16-ish, 20-ish. It's like, yo, feel a little warm. Felt good. It felt good, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm doing good.
I like it, man. I like it. We do got plenty that we're going to talk about today, too, man. Supers that were left over that we should officially get caught up on today. Officially get caught up on. So shout out to that. Going to talk some of these Steeler free agents. So at least we're going to talk about two of them for certain. I don't know if we can get to the rest of them. We're going to definitely talk about the first one. Oh, we know this one because he was talking out there, Deke.
Yeah.
We had new information, new words being said and spoken by main characters. So we'll obviously react to that, and might have to look into the we got the playoff outlook, but more importantly, I don't know if you've seen they announced these finalists, man, for the NFL Honors Awards, man.
Haven't been paying too much attention.
Well, you got black and gold in there, man. You should.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
TJ for D-Point.
Yeah.
Hope he wins, but
are you going to
be backing into that award?
Would you enjoy it if he does win, though?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'd be happy for him. It will make up for one of the 2 or 3 snubs that he's already gotten. So that'll be nice, but he'd be backing into this one for sure.
Okay. I could dig what you said. I could definitely dig what you said. We're going to get into that. We for certain are going to get into that even more. But Deke, because we have been, doing such a good job, the sponsors showing us love still. All right. So let's pay this bill real quick on the front end, and then we're going to dive into that a little bit more. So just give me a second, Deke. Give me a second. What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah. We talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? Whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. Shoot, what you waiting on? You're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. All right. So now, Deke, let's keep this thing going a little bit. Would he really be backdooring into it, though, when we look at the way that the rest of these guys who are finalists have finished the season as well? You got a Myles Garrett up there. You got a Pat Surtain II up there.
He left the door open.
A Trey Hendrickson up there. A Zach Brown. I think he said Bond. He's up there.
He's a finalist.
Oh, don't show me intrigued, Deke. Come on, man. Yeah, why you say it like that? He gave you a $150, $160 tackles, 11 for TFL. I think it was 3 sacks out of Pickens there. Hey.
Come on, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
There's a case for TJ, but it'd almost be like how Myles Garrett finished last year. But more deserving on TJ's end. Even with Myles Garrett, I think he finished the season last 6-7 games with only 1 sack. He still had no business winning the award if you look at the overall regular season stats versus all of TJ's stats. It was just insanely in TJ's favor, no matter what way you wanted to spin it. Mm-hmm. Whereas obviously TJ didn't finish strongly, but if you look at his total regular season stats versus all the other guys that you mentioned, there's a case for TJ. Yeah. There is. Whereas last year, there just point blank period wasn't a case for Myles Garrett at all, but he somehow won the award. It's just that TJ didn't Didn't finish strongly. Didn't close the door. Didn't put his stamp on the season. So left the door open, and I'm not really gonna have like a case against anyone that doesn't win, not named T.J. Watt. It feels like if they win, I'm just gonna be like, all right, whatever. Yeah. T.J. did it to himself.
He's still I think he's number 2 based on Vegas odds right now, behind Surtain. So he's still legitimately in that convo though, man. But I could definitely understand those feelings. I could definitely understand that, man.
Shoot. Yeah, it's just no one really stepped up like that this year.
Yeah. Because I feel like Henderson ended loud, but his team was really bad. So that's kind of the Joe Burrow MVP argument. It's like your season in terms of individual statistics were great, but as a whole, when we're looking at the award, it's like, how do we do that if your team as a whole still wasn't that successful? So that's my problem with Hendrickson. I feel like Miles wasn't loud enough.
Just off the top of my head, I don't think he has.
He don't have all the other like sexy stats. He just has like
pass
the sacks,
deflections, forced fumbles. I don't know what his tackles for losses, QB hits.
Yeah. With Surtain, he had the loud pick 6 end of the season. It was a 100-yard joint, and then they obviously went to the playoffs and everything with that. With Zach, I feel like Zach got a dope year. He just plays off-ball linebacker, and kind of like what you had already did indirectly is like people just don't respect off-ball linebackers like that unless you get an insane, it's like outlier stat. It's like that's a great year, but people just go, it is what it is.
Probably since Darius Leonard in his prime, there hasn't been a guy going off like that, making crazy splash plays and filling up the stat sheet. Because
people want to see more. If you're off ball, they're going to care more about just simply interceptions than tackles. Because you're not a pass rusher, you're never going to have the true double-digit sacks. So it's how do we compare this guy? We'll look at 150 tackles, 160 tackles, and we'll just say, he's a volume guy, or it won't put the same like emphasis on that as we'll say, man, if this guy has 20 tackles for loss, we're like, hey, bro.
What did he do in his other stats? In terms of like interceptions, tackles for loss,
pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Strip sacks.
Yeah, give me a second.
I feel like if you're just filling up the stat sheet across the board,
I got you real
5 forced fumbles, all right.
No, like I said, man, he's a finalist for a reason. He definitely up there for a reason, but he just don't play the sexy position. 151 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 4 deflections, a pick, 5 forced fumbles as well. And then they don't have his tackles for loss, but I want to say he had 11 TFLs as well.
Yeah. You need more sacks.
But he's an off-ball linebacker, though. You know what I mean?
Right, but, I mean, whenever I think of a middle linebacker winning the depoy, I'm thinking, like, Ray Lewis. Like, just, he could do it all. He could literally do everything. He could sack the quarterback. He could blitz him. Getting the picks, reading the quarterback, making the splash plays. That's what I think needs to happen for someone like Zach Bond or an off-ball linebacker to have a chance at the depoy. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but
I am with you. This is what it is. Reality of it. Heck yeah.
Right. 150 tackles. It's pretty good.
I was about to say
a lot of inside. Here's the thing, though. Like,
no, you about to say it?
No, a lot of inside linebackers do that year in, year out.
Do they have? I don't think they have the full sample that he has.
Well, that's my point. He needs more. Yeah. He needs more sacks. He needs another interception or two, maybe a pick 6, a touchdown or 2. Yeah. The forced fumbles 5. I mean, that's up there.
And he says an off-ball guy.
He's not winning.
You just said, though, that nobody closed the door.
Yeah, I'll bet good money.
You said nobody closed the door. That's what you told me. You said nobody
Whenever
closed the door, bro.
You surprised me.
And you look at the numbers, and you like...
Had a good season.
He's a legit.
Yeah, he's all pro. He's not winning the depoy. There's just no way.
Who is the definitive guy that you're taking out of him?
Well, it's not even just about that. It's more the off-ball linebacker respect and just how that position.
It's the nature of the position, man. Yeah.
That's part of it.
It's why Saquon is
he's got no
viewed
buzz.
How he's viewed right now.
Buzz. Yeah. There's no narrative for him this year. Like that plays into it too.
Yeah. But he said, man, when you play in the non-sexy position or a position that is kind of predetermined, this is how we value it. That's the hardest part with the awards. But it's like, yo, when I seen him up there, I'm like, yo, salute to the people that actually put him up there as a finalist, man.
Yeah.
But whenever we get to those awards, though, man, the finalists up there are very interested, man, in multiple areas. So that's the dope part about it, baby. But let's start the show like how we always do, man. Drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from, so that way we give those big boy shout outs to start the day's show. And of course, you already know the drill. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.
Kenneth Moses, salute from Virginia Beach. Deke, I see TG didn't talk to you about NSU's offensive coordinator spot. He didn't.
I was gonna say, yeah. Is it? I guess that is vacant still, huh? Is it still vacant? No, I thought they hired somebody by now. But you would have been good for the spot, though, bro. I recommend you.
No, I'm more of a front office guy. I told you that.
Ooh, okay. He said, I want to be.
If you want me
who brings talent in?
Yeah,
I want that.
I'm GM. Definitely. Let me make the
Let's
moves.
go.
Let me make the trades. Let me scout free agency.
There it is.
Draft the players. Draft the future. Leah Warren from the 254.
Shout out. Killeen, Texas one time. If you know, you know.
The Don Hefe Quan, 323, Watts, California. Rashawn Jones, the 732, Neptune, New Jersey.
Shout
yes,
out to
sir.
Neptune.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Shout out to Neptune, New Jersey one time for the culture.
Chris G in snow-covered Houston, Texas, the 713.
Yeah, South still got that snow on them. I like it. Shout out to them Houston people out there, man. Stay warm.
Hannibal tuning in from the 770, Cold Atlanta.
Let's get it. Shout out to them snowmen down there in ATL, man.
Jay Moods from the 602, Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's go. Let me tap in real quick, man. I got the homie Rod Dollar rocking out in the 330 Youngstown, Ohio. Share a line, baby. Share a line. Vikesh Trivedi. Hopefully I ain't butcher that. In Houston, Texas, the 832. The Don Hefe Quantity 323. Watts, California. Shout out to Watts, California, baby. If you know, you know. Then I got the homie X Concepts in the 724. Claridge, PA. And he says, stop lying for clicks, GP. What happened to GP? Did I miss something on GP? What's that about?
Yeah, he went to a football-oriented Instagram account that was posting some trade ideas. And one of their posts, they had Pickens getting offered to the Commanders for a second-round pick.
Hey.
And he commented on it, saying, stop lying for clicks, like you don't know what's going on within the organization or within the locker room. I mean, I think GP took it a little too far. It's like a football content Instagram account that's trying to come up with trade ideas. They're not reporting that Steelers Commanders are making this trade. It literally says trade ideas for the upcoming offseason.
GP shot at that thing, man. Hey, man, hey, y'all can stop playing with my name, bro. Stop playing with my name. Put some respect on my name. He tired of people, bro. He tired of it. I like it.
I think at least it shows.
Shout out to GP, bro.
Wants to be back.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out to
doesn't
GP.
Want to get traded.
Facts. I missed that. No.
His actions need to start reflecting that, though, going forward.
This is also true. But shout out to GP, though, man. All right. Well, that's good news then. That's good. Because he wants to be. At least he wanted to be here. Yeah.
Steeler for sure.
Because he could have easily leaned into it and be like, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Right.
Or, heck, I'm looking forward to that.
I think AB tweeted something along those lines.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Right? So someone said something online about
and they leaned into it versus refuting it.
We could do this without AB. And then he was like, all right,
do it.
See you and try.
Yeah. Well, shout out to GP's response, though. I do like that. So I feel like this is growth. We're in the right direction. Shout out to Mike Hood. Oh, I wonder if Mike Hood's the biggest man out of Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to the 614, man. I don't know if you caught on to that. I did. That came across that guy to me.
What?
The competition of who's the biggest thing to come out of Columbus, Ohio. Did you catch that or have you missed that as well? Yeah. You know who Le'Veon Bell is, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this dude? His name is like Lil Bow Wow. you know that guy, right?
Yeah.
So basically, L. Bell felt that Bow Wow is no longer relevant, and that L. Bell is the bigger name, and nobody, even remembers Bow Wow, and don't talk to him about money because you ain't had a hit or a movie in years. And, he was basically like, you don't get to say you're an Ohio State fan or you proud of that because you're not from here. You from Atlanta. So it was like a whole ordeal about who was the biggest person out of Columbus, Ohio.
From Atlanta?
That's what he was trying to say, but Bow Wow's from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
But L. Bell basically was like, nah, you not from here, and I'm bigger than you, and it's not even a debate. And that was like a whole little thing. I was like, oh, man, all right. Come on. This is rough.
Bow Wow and like, Le'Veon Bell.
I can't make it up, Deke. This is what he said, bro. Deke, I only bring it up because it came across my...
I think both are in the same boat.
Bro, it came across the top. Like, what? How did this start?
They're arguing who's more relevant. I mean,
L. Bell took the shot at Bow Wow. Bow Wow apparently was just happy that Ohio State won, so he's talking about the whole Ohio vibe. They bring up Bow Wow's first album cover. It's him in a Tim Couch jersey with a daggone Rottweiler. So it's like, all right, we know you Ohio. You feel me? But for L. Bell, he didn't view it that way, so he decided to make a video specifically calling out Bow Wow, and then Bow Wow had responded. So that was how I started going back and forth. I think now they did another video where they're supposed to be like on good terms, but L. Bell was the one who, really he felt some type of way about it. And he was basically like, yo, he more stamped out there than Bow Wow. It was like, oh, he said he's bigger than Bow Wow. His name is bigger. Nobody even knows Bow Wow anymore. I was like, true. Bro, whoa, I rock with L. Bell.
If you just go out on the streets and ask random people, Le'Veon Bell is versus Lil Bow, they're gonna at least remember something from Bow Wow, right?
I was like Mike, lottery ticket. I mean, it's just like, come on, bro. You got a lot of movies with like Lil Bow Wow. It was Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow. You just know.
Not saying he's the most relevant person anymore, but
Bow Wow. You know what I mean?
More brand recognition with
Lil
Bow Wow.
Mr. 106 in Park. It's Mr. 106 in Park. Yeah, it was hilarious, man. I loved it. But I was like, yo, Bow Wow, he been in a ton of movies. He got a ton of hits. Like, it's Lil Bow Wow, man. But yeah, I was like, shout out to L. Bell, man. So I didn't know how you felt about it, being that you black and gold through and through. If you felt like L. Bell was more known than Bow Wow.
No.
How you feel? I felt the same way.
I think Le'Veon Bell's just bored out of his mind right now.
I said my dog just want to be at the convo. I said he just wants somebody to talk to.
Talking
something
about trying to be relevant.
Holy smokes, bro! I was like, even Bow Wow, when he's not doing this, he was still relevant. Whether you talking for the people that get into it, like the Love and Hip Hop culture, he had a little lady that was on that. He was like, oh, that's Bow Wow shit. Like, it's Bow Wow, bro. You know how I go, Deke. It's Bow Wow. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised when I saw that. So shout out to L. Bell. Shout out to Bow Wow. Shout out to Columbus. Shout out to everybody. All right, y'all all matter. Everybody matters.
They're talking about a person that was like born and raised in Columbus, not necessarily went to Ohio State.
Correct. Yeah. Because technically neither one of them went to Ohio State. Yeah, L. Bell, Michigan State, dude. Yeah. That's the funny part. You're right about that. What are you?
Why is he defending Columbus so hard? If you were
Columbus,
don't you go to Ohio State?
Yeah, you went to Michigan State, bro.
Maybe I could see Ohio State maybe not offering them.
Oh wow,
that's why he had to get him.
Deke said that. Deke said that. Dang, Deke, you say you're a late bloomer. I'm a late bloomer. I ain't get the Ohio State offer. I ain't get the Florida State offer. I ain't even get the Pitt offer. I ain't even get the West Virginia offer, Deke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, man, some people, you late bloomers, it be like that. Shout out to L. Bell, though. Maybe he ain't went Ohio State. Could have been that.
Yeah, right. But if that's the case, why is he defending Columbus so hard?
I'm with you, bro. The math isn't mathing. But shout out to L. Bell, man. I was like, yo, all right. I was like, L. Bell, I don't like the argument about the money part because we don't know Bow Wow situation, but we do know he's been a rock star for a long time. But I feel like when in doubt, though, L. Bell does have the big joker in the argument. You do know that. The big joker is this, Deke. When they start going back and forth about who has this, who has that, L. Bell could definitely hit him with but if we went into that boxing ring, I'm going to piece you up and there ain't nothing you could do about it. And unfortunately for Bow Wow, he's going to have to nod his head. He might say, I would do this outside of this, or I would get this to do that. But if they ever were to get in that ring, and that was what L. Bell ultimately went to with Pac-Man. Remember that with Pac-Man, he was going back where he was like, but if we went there, you know what that is. I feel like L. Bell got that. I feel good about L. Bell in there.
That's fair to do with Pac-Man.
It's not fair with Bow Wow. True.
NFL player, right.
It's not true. It's not fair with Bow Wow.
Definitely punching down there.
But that's his, I feel like that's If you want to have a heel to die on L Bell,
that would make Le'Veon Bell look worse if he went that
Do you
route.
think so?
Yeah, because
how do you argue with Bow Wow? How do you say you're more famous than Bow Wow though? Because that to me look crazy.
Bow Wow just ain't doing anything, right? It's still, based off how you're saying this, he's just chilling, and Le'Veon Bell's going out of nowhere.
Yeah, you should have been. It's still Bow Wow.
Starting this beef, and then you're gonna say, "I want to fight you." It doesn't add up.
So you chasing it, bro? Why you chasing it, man?
It's a bad look for Le'Veon Bell.
We would all agree it was a bad look. Staged or not, it was bad. But it's just
especially if he goes the fighting route.
Yeah, but I'm just like, at least I think that I could view that as more like a legitimate, like, yeah, you got him there, L Bell. And say, what you gonna say back, Bow Wow? Just say you got more money, say you more famous, say you got more movies. L Bell say he was a better rapper than him too. So there's that. Shout out to the homie though, man.
That's not true.
Don't do L Bell like
Fresh
that,
as I'm is.
Have you ever heard of Shrimp Bayless?
It's not even close to Fresh as I'm is.
Every day is a Wednesday, bro. Stop playing, bro. That's one of my favorites. Every day is a Wednesday, not a Wednesday, a Wednesday, because we win.
Yeah. From what I remember, Bell's raps were pretty bad. Actually,
they weren't. They were just, yo, I'm here in the cut when I get it, how I get it. If I want to do it. Can't you see it with it? Yeah, man, don't do him like that, bro. He got, man. You went in the locker room when that Shrimp Bayless dropped. That's your problem. Deke, when that Shrimp Bayless dropped, it was a banger. All right, we all was looking at first time like, yeah, Skip, he at your head, man. We at your neck right now, man. That's all I'm saying, bro.
So I got a clear view on it then, is what you're saying. I don't have
man.
biasness.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. We felt it a little bit different when that thing dropped with L Bell. Play that thing, L Bell. I like that. Yeah. Give me them bars. Deke said, nah, bro. I can't go for that one, man. I can't do it.
Nah.
Well, he said, shout out to L Bell though, man. Shout out to L Bell. All right. So let's catch up on I think we said about 6 overdue super chats still remaining.
Yeah.
So we're gonna knock those out real quick. And then after that, we'll get to what we got on the docket for the day, man. So on the front end, hit the like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. All right, Deke, what you got for us, man? What you got?
I like this question. Greg Yeager, if I'm T. Higgins, am I signing with Pittsburgh?
I think there are things that make you want to sign, and there are things that potentially make you not want to sign. I'll let you go first, and then I'll get my answer to it. How you feel about it?
What could make you want to sign here? Tomlin. And money.
Cash money.
If our offer is
cash
the best one out there.
Everybody play for that dollar now. I see you, Deke.
But I do think, like, Tomlin's a part of it. Steelers organization's a part of it, too, where, let's say it's us versus the Patriots, and we're both offering the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Tomlin and Steelers organization always being in the mix could give us a leg up in this conversation. Yeah. I don't, because I want to bring up quarterback. I don't know if we have Justin Fields versus a Russ versus someone else that really moves T. Higgins' needle, given that he was just playing with Burrow. Mm-hmm. So I think it may just come down to money and organization.
Yeah, to me, I kind of see it similar. Money is definitely number one. Man, you could want to play here all you want to. If that deal over there is for $5 million more, hey man, that dude's gonna be playing over there for $5 million more. But I do think if the variables are close from a money standpoint, Coach Tomlin is a big draw. For the players' perspective, Coach Tomlin is a guy that a lot of dudes in the National Football League want to play for because of how he's respected, because of how he's regarded amongst the guys that played. You know what I mean? Like, we all love this dude. We speak very highly of him, and that's why you hear the same messaging a lot of times from players in terms of their eagerness or desire to play for Coach Tomlin. So I think that would be a huge draw. I don't know, because I don't know T. Higgins to know his preference of style of quarterback between the mobile versus the pocket guy. But based on Joe Burrow, that's more of the Russ style. Whereas we know, obviously, with Fields, that's a different style. And I don't think for him, he's looking at either one of those guys as a drop off in terms of them versus each other. I think if you're comparing either one of them to Joe Burrow, who he's been accustomed to, yeah, he's going to look at all of these guys with his nose up like, I got to go to that. But I think when you're bringing up a New England or you're bringing up some of these other potential teams that might be pursuing him, when he looks at the quarterback situation, maybe he feels a little bit more confident that if it is Fields or if it is Russ coming back, I have somebody that has at least made plays in the NFL. It's a guy that will be returning to the same system. So now is one less variable that could potentially get in my way as I'm trying to be successful here. And I think that those are going to be some of the bigger factors that he weighs outside of the money. But the money part is the most important thing when it comes to just hitting the open market. Because if he cared about quarterback to that extent, why are you leaving Joe Burrow? If you feel like this is your best offensive situation because you got a Jamar Chase over there to help keep you from getting double teamed all the time, you got a dude in Joe Burrow who's a bona fide top 5 quarterback, you're not finding a better offensive situation than that per se. You might want to prove that you can be the number one guy and stand alone, but you're not going into a better situation than this. So that's why I think the money part is going to be the biggest driving force. And then from there, those other variables I was talking about.
Yeah, the case against coming here, you kind of laid it out a little bit. If he's looking for numbers, offensive production, certainty on that side of the ball, then I don't know if we're the spot for that.
Yeah.
Not only if you talk about quarterback, but even offensive scheme.
Yeah,
offensive
the style
coordinator,
of it.
the guy that's calling the plays. You're going from Zach Taylor, who's coming from that McVay tree, has obviously proven that he could head coach at a decent level in the pros, but more offensive oriented, knows what he's doing there. To just kind of what we got going with Arthur Smith, and are we more smash mouth football run style? Are we gonna open it up more this upcoming season because of how this one ended? There's much more murkiness here with how we're gonna run this offense. We don't even know who the quarterback is right now.
Yeah.
It's all in what you value. But if, like you said, if one of his goals, one of his priorities is trying to prove to the league he can be that dude outside of Jamar Chase, then that's another point in our favor, I'd say. That's something that we can offer him. Yeah, I think even if we keep Pickens, that's something we could offer him.
Yeah, because you're right. Jamar Chase versus George Pickens are two totally different animals.
Higgins would be the one. The money would reflect that.
Absolutely. And T would be viewed as that guy, whereas we know regardless of what T does, he's always viewed as the number 2 guy.
It almost be like the Ravens bringing in Roquan Smith even when they had Patrick Quinn.
Yeah. We knew
who
what
that is.
The A was. Yeah. Yep. No, that's real. That's real.
So there's a chance. Yeah. You could also – I don't know what his vibes are with the Bengals right now. You can't be happy with how the situation went. So if you want to –
and you didn't win either. So, yeah.
Go to a division rivalry, almost like what Patrick Queen did here.
And he said he embraced being the villain. He embraced that bad guy like, I'm going to go over there then. Yeah.
We're not out of it for T. Higgins.
I would agree.
We're definitely not out of it. But depending on what his priorities are, we could be more on the lower end of the total.
Very true.
But also, depending on his priorities, we could be on the higher end.
Yeah.
There could be a big swing in where we rank on his list.
Because, I'm also thinking to myself, I'm like, do you treat free agency as business, or are you treating it still like as personal, meaning I don't want to go to anywhere in the division because y'all were viewed as the bad guys, nor do I want to be over there and have to play against my brothers. I was drafted in Cincy. This is the only guys I've known. This is like where I've been locked in.
I don't got beef against
you know
the
what I
players,
mean? Yeah,
it's
the organization. So I don't want to go over here, and now I got to go against you guys either. That's not cool. So I don't know which way he looks at that either.
Future Fresh, Deke, us making the playoffs every year means we're literally 3 more wins from the Super Bowl. Why blow it up to not make the playoffs? We just need tweaking. My goal isn't to blow it up or make changes to not make the playoffs. I think the assumption here is if we do make changes, we're automatically not making the playoffs, which I don't think is necessarily the case. We need to get over the hump. So what's the path to getting there? Is it making more serious changes, like moving off from Tomlin, trading personnel? Or is it sticking with what we got and making little tweaks, if any? I don't know. Seems like we've been in the same spot for the last however many years. So that's why I think at this point it is fair to suggest a bigger overhaul or a bigger change up. It's not to just wave the white flag. It's just we gotta start heading in a different direction. If it happens as soon as the year after we make that switch up, then I'd be pumped. But I mean, that's not the goal. Is just to tank once you do an overhaul or make some big changes.
I can dig that.
We just need tweaking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We've been saying that. It's not even that we're losing. It's the fashion and how we're losing to some of these teams where we're just completely outclassed. 21-0 at half, giving up 300 yards. It's tough. It's been a similar story in a lot of these playoff games. And you even saw how we ended the season, too, against some of these better teams. It's tough. It's tough. Aaron Grant, 2020 floor reflection. Pass or fail position groups. Quarterback, pass. Wide receiver, pass. Running back, fail. O-line, fail. D-line, pass. Outside linebackers, pass.
There it is.
Middle linebackers, pass.
There it is.
Cornerbacks, fail. Safeties, pass. Agree.
Okay. Now I kind of want to go down that one at a time. So he's saying as a collective, obviously. How'd you feel quarterback then?
Yeah.
Because he said pass, right?
I guess you got to say pass.
Okay.
As a collective. If you're just saying pass, fail, you got to say pass.
All right. Running backs, pass or fail?
I guess you got to say pass.
Okay. Wide receivers.
Fail.
I agree. Tight ends.
Outside of the Muth drop on the last play of the regular season, I'd say pass.
I like how your mind always reverts back to like any catastrophic like bad play versus like, man, what about the catch? What about the yard? Like,
cost us a game.
Things like, that play.
Literally cost
That's all
us
I can
game.
think about.
You catch that, Boswell makes the field goal.
Man.
We might actually have a playoff win. Be playing the Texans.
People wouldn't care anyways, man, because as soon as they would lose, we would just focus on that part as well, man. That's the beauty of sports, though. If you don't win it all, this is what we got to kind of,
build
up.
On how it looks. So, yeah, we can only go off of how it did, in fact, look. And
the feeling of it. How'd you feel?
It was an embarrassing loss against the Ravens. So I think it's different, though. We go to the Texans, we win, and then we lose in a tight match against the Chiefs. I think it's a completely different story. Again, it's not necessarily about us losing. It's how we're losing. Ravens just lost to the Bills.
Okay.
Came down to Mark Andrews dropping a pass. I don't think anyone's blaming Harbaugh for that or blaming the organization structure or how things have been done from a front office standpoint or just from like an overarching standpoint.
Yeah.
Us going on the road to the Ravens, a team we've played for the third time this year, in a do-or-die game and being down 21-0 and get embarrassed by halftime. Like, whenever you combine that with all the other playoff losses and how we finished the season, are we doing this thing right? Like, are we set in the right direction? I think those become fair questions to start asking. Whereas with the Ravens, it's like Lamar don't have that fumble. Mark Andrews don't have that fumble. Don't drop that 2-point conversion. I mean, that's really the only change you guys need.
Okay.
You guys are on the right path.
Okay.
I don't know about us.
Okay. I mean, I can see the perspective. I can definitely see that.
We got more here. O-line.
Okay. How'd you feel about that?
Fail. Definite fail.
I actually say pass. More so because of all the adversity they had. There's 6 different groups. if I would have seen at least the same group or my main group, I never got a chance to see my starting lineup at one point. Not once.
The fact that Dan Moore and Broderick Jones led up the most sacks in the league is tough.
Okay. I could dig that too.
They had a good run. They had a decent run. I think like middle of the season. I mean, the whole team had a decent run in the middle of the season when we're sitting at 10-3. But
because we focus on Broderick and Dan as the negatives, right? So what about Zach Frazier and Mason McCormick?
He was good.
Zach's a Pro Bowl alternate as a rookie.
I don't think the run blocking was there when it needed to be down the stretch, and obviously we saw the pass protection.
But we saw Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick.
But as a unit,
they look good.
Yeah, as a unit though, I think there was just too much pressure on the quarterback, and the run blocking wasn't there. Like I said, where it needed to be for the last month.
I can dig it. Okay.
And then the stats on the sacks given up, that's rough.
Respect.
Your two bookends.
Technically not our two bookends. The first rounder was injured. Troy Fautanu.
I get that, but it's like these dudes are out there. No?
So do we hold Mason McCormick to the same standpoint as James Daniels, who we've compensated to a higher level?
Whoever's out there, it's like, did you pass or fail?
Okay. Fair enough. I just view it with more context. That's all.
Like if Pickens was out for the whole year and this was the receiving group that we had, I would just say it's a fail.
Like I said, different perceptions on it. I like it though. Like I like the understanding of it. So yeah, we would disagree on it, but I like that. Because I would, for a certain point, to Calvin Austin, I would look at Mike Williams hopping on the moving train. I would say Van Jefferson made timely plays. And yeah, I'd be like, you know what? Without their lead dog, that was all I got out of that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting him. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah. But that's why I said my perception on it.
We got D-line. He's saying pass. Yeah, Cam Hayward kind of carried.
Yeah. He was dominant. Was he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say pass. It's tough. Just how the season ended, though. I mean, you saw I was talking about the O-line, so.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to hear from you here, because I'm like.
This D-line with how the season ended, so it's just. I guess pass. I guess. I don't feel great about saying it. I guess.
All right. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, what are your outside linebackers then? Is that a pass? Because you said TJ go back. Was it backdoor to the D point if you got it? It's like, hey, if not, you don't deserve it. Like,
Herbig had some nice.
Is that
plays.
a fail? Like, how we feel about them? Yeah.
Highsmith had some nice plays. Yeah, obviously, TJ's in the depoy conversation, but where were you at this last month?
So say what you feel, Deke.
It's tough.
Say what you feel,
I guess you have
Deke.
to say pass.
No, you don't, Deke. If you want to say
whole,
fail, you can say fail if that's how you felt about it.
Well, then I'd say fail to everyone then.
Okay, that's all I'd
say fail. Because the last month, the last 5 games, everyone failed.
Yeah,
everyone.
I get it. To you, the final 5 mattered more than anything that took place. And as long as the ending isn't a Super Bowl,
no, that's why I'm going to
hold that.
I'm trying to think of the whole season. That's why I'm like, I guess I got to say pass with the outside linebackers. I guess I got to. Same with the D-line, but damn.
So are you looking to be like negative with it? Is that like what the goal is then? Because it sounds like you almost like disappointed that you got to like come off of the hard, like, yo, this is bad. This was bad. Like, yo, y'all suck. You know what I mean?
It's how the season ended. It is what it is.
Respect.
That's how I feel about it. Not looking to be.
Okay. So outside linebackers, though,
it's just tough to say pass when you go 0-5 and the defense looked the way that it did, the offense looked the way that it did. The games that mattered most, we had an opportunity to close up the division, get a home game. Have some home field advantage for the playoffs. And then we actually had a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. So, I'll say pass for outside linebackers, I guess.
Okay.
Middle linebackers. Man. Yeah, I guess, it's kind of the same thing with all these positions. I'm talking about. You could talk about some moments. Definitely. Peyton Wilson, Landon Roberts, Patrick Queen.
Talk your talk, Deke. Talk your talk.
Last 5 games, though.
I like this convo, man. Who was this super chat from again? There you go, bro.
It's either pass, fail. So
hey, dog. What you got for us, Deke? Come on, man. Who you going with? Pass or fail, baby? Pass or fail for them inside linebackers?
That might even be more on the fail side.
I love it.
That one might be more on the fail side. Even with me trying to put the whole regular season into context here, I think I'm leaning fail. Cornerback's definitely fail.
Tom.
Safety pass. I'll give safety the pass.
Out. We got to go back to the linebacker, bro. We got to go back. So, what makes you say fail? And after that, we'll talk a little bit about what made you kind of be conflicted about pass. Because you look like that was the one. That, and I feel like D-line really got you like going back and forth on it, man.
Not as many highs as the D-line or outside linebackers from that middle linebacker crew.
We had some crazy moments, though.
Yeah, the Peyton Wilson pick.
The Patrick Queen forced fumble versus Baltimore in the first matchup. The Peyton Wilson, the fumble recovery for the crib. The Landon Roberts boom sticking on people. Like, we got there's production in there. You know, PQ led the team tackles. Now,
but
it was production in there. I know you view 150 tackles as like anybody can do it, but it's
a lot more bad plays from the middle linebackers compared to like the outside guys, Herbig and TJ. I don't agree with
that. I think they just play sexier positions.
I think they were more steady throughout the course of the season.
I don't agree with that. I just think in terms of when it's watching it, a sack looks way sexier than 5 tackles. I think that's what it boils down to. We look at the sack and we're like, "Yo, you played great today. You had 2 sacks."
I'm talking about the bad plays, though.
I'm with you, but I'm saying the reason why we will feel better about
missed assignments from the inside linebackers throughout the course of the season, as opposed to TJ Highsmith and Herbig.
Yeah, because the nature of the position. One, you're going to be in way more positions to make plays. So if you're going to be in position to make 20 plays, that means you got 20 opportunities to miss tackles as well. Whereas if you're only in position to make 5 plays, you catch what I'm saying? So does that really mean that player was that much efficient? Or is it just you ain't getting enough positions to make plays? PQ, the inside linebackers, they get to the ball. Part of the reason why you see the miss as much as they did, but even with the tackles that he missed, he still had 129 total tackles, 65 solos, 64. It's like, bro, that's you getting to the rock. And that's with all the missed tackles that we see. And we would say he had a good amount, right?
It's kind of like running back, though. If you're playing the position, you're out there all the time, you're going to get 100 tackles.
I do not agree with that. No, I do not agree with that, man.
As long as you're confident.
I do not agree with that, bro.
You saw how many dudes from, like, Browns teams, Colts teams. Joe Schobert. What's his face?
You had like Joe Schobert wasn't a good player. Joe Schobert was a Pro Bowl linebacker. It's the reason why he got paid to go to Jacksonville. We paid him to come here.
Mason gave him that Pro Bowl with all those picks.
Man, we could call it what we want to call it. But you brought him. He's a good player. That's all I'm saying, bro. You just act like a HUD attack, like anybody getting a HUD at back. That's not the case, man.
Well, like I said, I didn't.
But it is your perception. That's why I was like, yo, you ain't gotta change your idea. It's like that's why I like the combo.
I already told you everyone would be failing.
Yeah, I care. That's the beauty of the combo.
Really up to me. Yeah. Everyone's failing, but yeah, I don't think the inside linebackers had as many highs as the outside linebackers, and they had more lows.
I like
it. So if you're making me split hairs here between pass and fail, like I'm not thrilled with any of these positions.
There it is. Talk your talk, Deke. Talk your talk.
CB fail for sure. As safety, I'd do pass.
So why do you pass safety?
Yeah, Deshaun Elliott played awesome. I think he played pretty good. Was one of our more consistent pieces on defense.
Yeah.
And then Minka, even though he didn't have the splash plays, still played good.
Yeah.
I thought that was a consistent group for us this year.
So what was the fill part for corner?
JPJ didn't live up. A lot of penalties from him.
What about Dante Jackson?
I guess he had the 5 picks, but
what about Beanie Bishop?
Yeah, he had the 3 picks.
I thought he had 4.
Yeah, it was 4. Yeah. Right. Forgot about that.
So that's 9 picks between just them 2 players right there.
Yeah. Might have to rethink that.
Oh, I was about to say, you missed the splash. You took all the splash. 9 picks between 2 guys.
It's cool, but I really didn't have much confidence in that secondary as the season went, and unfortunately, they proved that right.
Okay. I like it.
Whether you just want to talk about the cornerbacks or you want to combine it with the safeties, the secondary definitely faltered. I mean, they were showing those signs throughout the middle of the season, which is why I was talking about some of my concerns. Yeah. Because if you're letting up these type of yards like Daniel Jones 1,000%. And some of these other teams, what's it going to look like when we go up against Mahomes? We go up against Burrow and Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, you're right. They did get
and
some
you bringing up who's of quarterbacks too is what you're telling me, right? You said they play against Lamar twice. That's an MVP finalist. Could be the 3-time MVP.
I don't care about that. I mean,
Joe Burrow's one of them guys. They see that twice a year.
In this defense, in this secondary.
That's Joe Burrow. Come on, man.
I don't care about all that.
They seen Mahomes on Christmas Day.
Better. Come on.
Jalen Hurts. They the who's of the who's.
We shouldn't be the worst looking defense when facing the Chiefs. Out of all the teams the Chiefs played this year, we shouldn't be the worst looking.
But that's how you feel in the moment. It's not like we sitting there watching every Chiefs game locked in on the defenses and all. We don't do that. We casually watch them and we intimately watch us. So we know all of us way more versus we don't care about the details of it. But it's like
we gave the most points and the game was over in the third quarter.
Okay.
I mean,
I like it. But I think that's why that previous super chat said that about Gore. It's like, yo, man, so should we just blow it all up there? Because it just seems like everything is bad. And if everything is as bad as it is, then it shouldn't be any type of reasoning to want to come back. But as we're doing this exercise, you're saying a lot of pass, I guess, which is kind of like counter to what the previous vibe was. So that's why I think he was kind of confused, because I'd be kind of confused too. I'm like, so do we want to blow it up there? Because you're giving a lot of positive energy about a lot of players, even though it doesn't seem like you really want to believe that it was positive.
I just want to win playoff games. I just want to be a legitimate contender.
Because it's like everything you're bringing up, it seems like you are that, except little pieces. But when you talk about it, you speak as if it's like over, like the whole thing is. So I'm confused too. I'm like, so which one is it? Because you gave me a lot of pass. My man said
I said I would fail everyone, actually.
When you went and just basically cut it down to being simple, when you actually did the exercise, you said a lot of passing. That's all. And then when my man brought up, well, hey, you're always 3 games away when you are in the postseason. So by just that rule, you technically are closer to what you want than not. But even when he had brought that up, he was kind of like,
so what are you looking for me to say
that
here?
I'm just trying to,
I want to win playoff games. Obviously, no matter what's passing or not, because we are, I would say, let's just look at the Steelers franchise as a whole. We are passing whenever you compare it to the rest of the league.
This is the problem, though. When y'all say that doesn't seem like it is, though.
It's not. No, it's not good enough. That's
so then
how
is it passing then?
It is, because we are better than, let's just say, half of the league. We are better. We are consistently better than half of the league. But ultimately, that's not good enough. That's not getting us to our goal. That's not having us be in legit contention. Steelers as an organization, pass. If you're going to say pass, fail. As an organization over the last decade, pass.
When you said legit contention, I'm just like, to get into the postseason.
What does it mean, though?
Doesn't that give you legit, because now it's just,
obviously
did you win? It's like,
obviously not.
Okay. Fair enough. Just see differently.
I mean, we're
it's nothing wrong with it.
We're getting beat by legit contenders.
It ain't nothing wrong with it, baby. If you feel like getting to the postseason, you're not close, I can understand that perception. I just don't share it. That's all. But I can definitely get what you're saying, though.
How are we close right now?
I just told you.
From what we just saw against the Ravens.
I gave you my answer. You 3 games away. So if you would have beat the Ravens, now we're no longer closer? Is beating the Ravens impossible this year? Like we did not beat them at all this year? Because the answer is we already beat them.
That's why I thought we had a chance.
So how is it? Why were we down? So are you not close then? So you're even saying that you are close by saying that you're not close by even acknowledging that you are. It's just funny. It's just like, bro, it is.
Because you need a quarterback. You need an offense. And obviously we didn't have that.
Oh, well and good.
We didn't have a defense either. Like we didn't have any of those things.
Yeah.
Operating at the efficiency or the level that we needed them to when the game mattered most.
I think both things could be true, actually. But that's the part for me where I see the context in both sides. I think your side is just focus here and just here, which is fine. But that's just the difference of it. That's all.
I mean,
but I get what you're saying.
We need change one way or another, whether it is blowing it up or since we are sticking with Tomlin, something's got to give with this offense and defense, though, still going forward.
And I don't think anybody has said anything opposite of that. I think what people going in this process is just you're either, not you specifically, but people are doing either the emotion, we want big change because of how I feel, or you have the other side where it's, you don't need as big changes if you actually look at some of the context of it. And that's where I think people are just stuck back and forth with. Big change for the sake of, I'm tired of this, don't tell me this, this, and this. So it's more of that feeling versus you can't tell me we're not close when literally if you'd have won these 1, 2, and 3 in the postseason, which you actually got into, then you're actually a Super Bowl champ. So that proves that you are, in fact, closer to this than you are away from it. But that's the part where I say it's a divide. Hump, but that's the divide because the hump isn't something that's legit. It's just how we feel about it. We call it a hump because like, yo, we want it. Is it 20 years? Nah. Some people look at 20 years as the hump. Some people look at 15 years as the hump. We're looking at 8 as, yo, it's the hump. It's the perception. It's how we feel in the moment. And that's why I said if that's how you feel, it is valid. But I just don't think that it is as crazy as that is from my perspective.
I would say it's less about the 8 years and more about the last like 2 or 3. We need a quarterback. That's what we need. We need a quarterback and we need an offense.
So when you bring up that specifically, it's like, so if you're telling me we all would agree you need a quarterback, you need an offense, why is the answer when it doesn't work out versus the teams that have the quarterback and the offense? Yo, we need to blow this thing up, man. That's the part where just from my eyes, I'd be having a hard time like following it. But I also look at things very analytically.
What's our direction with the offense? How is it going to improve?
I've given you my ways about it. You've given your ways about it. We all trying to see how it works out, though, because none of us have the quarterback right now. So until you have that, you're throwing stuff at the dartboard and praying that something sticks. But the answer is you got to get the quarterback. Now, once again, this year, where are you going to get that guy at? Now we're going to do the speculation game, right? I feel like it's Justin Fields. I feel like it's Russ. I think it's Sam Darnold. I think it's Kirk. I think it's Shador. We're going to do all that. But none of that is a valid answer. That's why all of them are available to us. But at the end of the day, it's like we all need a quarterback. And until you find that guy, we're all grasping, praying, and hoping that, all right, we're going to be a complete team, and this guy steps up. We'll be a complete team. This guy's going to kill us. So that's the reality of it. But if we don't want to live there, then we, do the whole, nah, man, I got to go for this. I want to get that. And that's why I say I can understand the context with it, baby. I definitely can, man.
Cool. Colton Troy Fu, getting T-Mac would be great. He's from Waimanalo on my island, 6'5" and can fly. I'm going to see him on Saturday. I'll ask if he heard from the Steelers.
Let's go. Shout out on that. What's his name again? Say the name again.
T-Mac.
That's all right. We heard about him.
Justin Gordon, Con must go into the offseason with his black hoodie and black Air Force Ones on, thinking 300 yards rushing allowed to the Ratbird Ravens.
Mm-hmm. About to say, man, we're going to find out what Omar finna do this offseason, baby. We're going to find out.
Let's go, UW. Deke is too enamored with Seven's pass. He should have retired after the elbow injury. He wasn't the same afterwards. Randy was Seven's yes man. Haley got the boot because he was critical of Seven and his soft ego.
Yeah, that's directed to you.
No. Should he have retired after the elbow injury? No, because the year after he came back, Win the division, 12-4, 33 touchdowns, 10 picks. Duke still throw it. And actually, the 1 year he did have Finkner before the elbow injury. I think it was the first year without Haley. That's when he led the league in passing yards, 30-plus touchdowns. So I don't know. No, I think we know my stance on it. I think he had years left in him. We should have built more around him and not taken having that caliber of guy on this roster for granted, because you see where we're at these last however many years. And that's why, honestly, I'd be open to bringing in an Aaron Rodgers. It's like, you have one of those dudes. You have one of those, all-timers. It's like, bro, if there's a chance that they could age gracefully, if they could still be that guy in their 40s, I'd rather have that for even if it's just a year or two than not have it. And Rodgers, if he does come back, he's got a chance of being top 10, top 5. That's why I think we should be open to that scenario. It's not going to happen now for sure, because from what I heard about Aaron Glenn, I think he wants Rodgers back. So to me, it's going to come down to Fields or Russ, and then if neither of those happen, do you do Darnold? Do you do the Trevor Lawrence trade, Kyler Murray type of trade? But I disagree with let's give you Dub's comment here.
All right, shout out, baby. Yeah, I didn't see where Aaron Glenn said. I missed that, but I missed where he even hired, where he got the job, man. I was like, dang, that was quick, man.
I just heard some reports saying that he's leaning Rodgers coming back.
No.
Justin Gordon says, get Russ a star number 1 receiver with GP and then fix the trenches.
That's my approach right now.
That's it for the Supers.
All right. Let's go then, man. We are officially caught up then, so let's get to today's Supers. Whew, man. Holy smokes, they racking up again today. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all showing up, man. All right. It's all season time, but y'all still rocking out with us, man. So we appreciate y'all being here, man. So, yeah, let's dive into this thing. And I'm sure along the way, we're going to have some crossover for what we want to talk about today anyways, man.
That boy 23, Deke talking Kenny versus Mahomes. Give me Kenny versus Mitch. Also, Bo Collins, 4 receptions, 32 yards, and the Natty, 41 receptions, 490 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season. Second on the team in those stats. Also had a playoff touchdown, 7th round or undrafted free agent steal.
Okay. My man said 4 for 32 and the Natty, 41 for 490. All right. Yeah, I don't personally want to see Kenny versus Mitch in the Super Bowl. I could see how that could play out. I don't hate it. I just don't like that. I don't like that a lot, if that's all right. You would like that, Deke. You would like that a lot because you get your guy out there. I like Mitch. I just don't. If it's late in the game, I don't mind it late in the game. I just don't want that to be the start of the matchup.
Let's go, Dub. How is DeMar a comeback player of the year finalist again?
Yeah, that's the weird part. But with the way the awards are this year, it's a lot of that weird type of stuff going on, man. Specifically with DeMar, it was funny because this is obviously on the heels of last year where Flacco got the award for comeback player of the year, his first year coming back. NFL sent the memo out saying specifically that if you're not a guy coming back from in production, obviously was on a Pro Bowl ballot and stuff like that. But to me, that's the Joe Burrow Award this year. But we shall see.
Fish Momentum, Moats, Deke, and Chat fam. What's good? Ambition live tomorrow at Rivers Casino, 8 p.m. Pull up.
There he is.
2025 Stairway to 7. Hashtag here we go. And he also says go Bills.
Hey, all right. Don't be doing all that go Bills, man. You know, hey, it's Steelers podcast, man.
Fish Momentum says congrats again to TG.
Hey, respect to the homie, man. Heck yeah, man. Defensive coordinator out here in this thing.
Ryan McPherson, is it me or was Van Jefferson overhated this year?
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit overhated. More so expectations. When the expectations are we hope you can come here and be a number 2. I want you to come back and whatever your best season was in your career, that's what we want from you. But yeah, that wasn't the case. But he definitely had moments, and that was the one thing that we say down the stretch. It was like, man, you would see him come up with timely catches, man. Big time 30-yard here, big time 30-yarder there. It was just the one catch variety. But as a whole, yeah, I thought it was a little bit overhated. Yeah. How'd you feel about that? I mean, I know he failed because the position as a whole, but if you giving him some nuance, how would you view Van this year?
I would have liked for him to do better, but I guess maybe looking back, we shouldn't have had that high of expectations for him. So it's whatever. I think it's the organization's fault for putting him in a spot where we should be relying on him to the degree that we were. You know, he did his thing.
Okay. Could dig it. I'm trying to see what he pulled.
Maybe overplayed is a better way to put it.
Because into it, 24 catches, 276, 2 tutties.
Yeah, like overplayed. Like that's more like he should be like our wide receiver 5, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, as opposed to at times our 2 and 3.
Yeah. I mean, the most targets he had in the game was 5. That was Dallas. Other than that, it was like 3 targets, 2 targets, or 1 target a game.
Yeah, I looked back. I remember at the beginning of the season, and you know he got those. I think it was 800 yards with the Rams. Whenever they won the Super Bowl, but maybe you got to look.
I wonder how many targets he was getting in those.
Oh, not only that. I mean, you have McVay, you have Stafford, just a whole different offense. So that's probably part of it too.
Yeah, because I'm looking. I'm like. Even in the games where he had the most receiving yards, like his best outing was New York Giants. He had 62 yards. It was only 4 catches on 5 targets, though. Other than that, it would be a 1 for 43 with 3 targets, 2 for 39 on 2 targets, 2 for 27 on 3 targets. Yeah.
Here's Momentum. What can I do to be on an episode with y'all?
Ooh, all right. We gotta open the phone lines back up again, man. We gotta do that again.
That'd be an easy way.
Heck yeah. Quan, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed.
Tons of fun. Gift their most membership to MNL Finesse. 410. And also one to Ryan McPherson.
Hey, shout out to Tons of Fun being an absolute rock star, paid it forwarded to all of them individuals. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed.
Let's go, UW. Just a quick reminder, when we talk money as it stands currently, we are set to have around 24 million cap space available to use.
And we know we can add more to that with restructures on top of that. So that's a good starting point, though.
Yeah.
It's better than what it's been beforehand. Was that COVID year or the year before COVID, where we were like operating dang near in the red, and it was like, oh, how we gonna get back out of it? And then we popped up with an Ebron signing. That's all I remember.
Tons of fun. Gifted another Mets membership. I don't know to who though.
Hey, shout out. Tons of fun.
Major Martinez gifted one to the Don Hefe Kwan. Or no.
Hold on, let's say, wait a minute now.
It didn't show me that either. I don't know who they were gifted to.
Well, you already know to them individuals. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. And y'all hit that like button one time for the culture. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel.
Tons of fun. We need a guy who can develop players like Munchak and Jeff Stoutland for the Eagles. Those examples are both O-linemen, but need that for any position.
Do we only look at the failures from the O-line group, or do we consider the positives as well? Because I know we bring up Pat Meyer. That's like the big lightning rod. But I'm just like, when we would look at Zach Frazier, would we say played well or did not play well this year? I think we'd all say he played well. When we would bring up Mason McCormick, did he play well or did he not play well? We're going to say he played well. Say Umalu, we're going to say he played well. The two that we had the biggest issue is Broderick and Dan. But more so, Dan was the end of the year, specifically down that last 5 stretch. Realistically, the Snow game and that Bengals game was when he gave it, was it 6 sacks back-to-back weeks? It felt like 2.5 weeks in between. But those are the two that we felt the most like disgruntled with. So why do those two outweigh the other 3? when the other three, two of them weren't even supposed to be day one starters?
I think part of it too with Meyer. He's been here 3-4 years. Like it just doesn't feel like the O-line has made any like drastic steps like as a whole.
We said at the middle portion of this season that the O-line was playing well. We all said that. We was like, yo, they doing good. We was like, yo, Broderick and Dan. That's what we was talking about. Dan about to get paid. Remember? Did that not happen?
It did. I mean, if the season ended there, I'd be giving Russ a blank check too.
Respect. But that was like week 10-ish. It ain't like we talk about like week 6.
Yeah.
So for more games than not is catch what I'm like.
I don't know about that.
Okay, respect.
For the O-line as a whole, I don't know.
Okay.
Because like they weren't blocking that amazing.
They weren't great.
Fields.
They weren't great. I'm not saying that they were great. All I'm simply saying is like this notion though of like this O-line is being trash. Like I don't agree with that notion that every single player on that O-line was trash. I don't. I think we could identify two people that we feel a type of way about, but I don't agree with that with the interior of the dudes though. I don't.
No, that's fine. No, that's 100%. But like O-line talk, and we've said this before, it usually is discussed as a unit, as a whole.
1,000%.
Right?
And I'm telling you, 3 were better than the 2.
Yeah, for sure. But I think these O-line units under Pat Meyer over the last 3-4 years, it's like we haven't hit anything really above average.
Okay.
Blame the coach, blame the player. I mean, whatever. But the O-line hasn't necessarily been improving like that.
Would we say with O-line group project or individuals? We would say group, right?
Yeah.
And if we say one person is struggling, one person we tried to figure out, it could make the rest of make the ship look bad, right?
Good.
All right. That's what, because I feel like both of those things.
Oh, we're not talking just about one. We're talking about 2. And again, like it's not like O-line as a whole was top 5 this year.
You're saying that as a whole, I'm agreeing with you.
Going to the beginning of the season, going to the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't really that good.
That's fair, but we're going to specifically point to a tackle or a tackle.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. So explain to me, how was the O-line trash, or how was the coach bad, and how all these players bad when we're going to specifically talk about Broderick and Dan Moore? Like, explain it.
If we don't want to talk about Pat Meyer, then this is why we're talking about the organization. Like,
okay, that's fine.
And drafting Broderick Jones and, drafting Dan Moore.
And they drafted Troy Fautanu. He's hurt. They drafted Troy Fautanu. He's hurt. They drafted Troy. He's hurt.
Hey, yeah, you're right.
So it's not like they're not shooting. They drafted another first rounder the next year. He's hurt.
Every team deals with injuries, though.
I know. But we only act like ours don't matter is the problem. We act like our injuries, hey, we say next man up, so it don't matter. We're going to hold you to the same standard. Whereas another team can have them injuries and, that's content. Hey, we care about that. That's all.
Hey, yeah.
But hey, shout out to it, baby.
If we want to keep Pat Meyer and say like he's doing a good enough job in developing and all that stuff, then you do have to have questions about. And I think that's legit, yeah. And putting players. So then who does that?
I think that's legit. I think that's all legit. Absolutely. Nobody's above criticism and critique. Nobody. I just question when you have a stance. Just why? That's all.
That wasn't even my stance. I'm just talking
asked.
about like why Pat Meyer might be on the chopping block.
Yeah, I was just asking back to you. That's all.
Like I would be fine with moving off him. I don't really have the strong stance either way.
I don't either. I just be asking questions.
The O-line hasn't been good enough under his tenure though for 3-4
I think
years.
I would agree with that too.
So if we move off of him, I'm not trying to spill milk here.
Man, you at least go bother me one way or the other. That's all my whole thing is, but I just find it, from my stance, it's entertaining when it's less about just simply throwing a comment out there, because anybody could throw the comment out there. It's like, all right, well, why do you feel like that? Man, I just like to hear both sides of it. That's it.
AJ Martinez says, this is my problem. The play looks the same loss after loss. Nothing has changed. Just like a super rich person that has no imagination, we might go 9-8.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Mike Hood says, I like TG's take on our team. Keep the band together as much as possible and allow them to grow. Ramon even says it takes 3 to 4 years for an O-lineman to show what he's really capable of. Salute Yins.
And it's just crazy. Just think about the combo we just had, right? Your response is still way different than Mike Hood's response. But we all are part of this thing together. And that's why I was like, it's just perspectives on it, man. But it is funny just hearing that. Like, your stance way different than Mike Hood's stance. And neither one of y'all are right or wrong. It's just like, it's crazy.
We can keep the band. We got to have Fields then. Like,
you see what I'm saying? But it's like, but everybody has like a different approach to how we could get there because nobody has the answers to it. We all just, all right, I think this could work. And we lead to why we think it could work for whatever reason, but we all understand the same thing.
Yeah, because obviously we are going more in that direction than what me and a lot of people were thinking the Monday after our wild card loss. We're sticking with Tomlin. Probably not going to have any major changes, but I know this. We got to give Fields a chance. Like, that's really it. And for the Steelers, that actually might be a big change. That might be a big step for them because, honestly, the Steelers' approach is re-signing Russ and going with Russ. That would be the traditional Steelers approach.
How do you see it playing out, though?
Maybe it is.
Like, early on, how do you see it playing out?
I don't know. I'm 50-50 right now. Based off Dulac's reports, he's pretty confident it's going to be Fields. Then you got Russ going on McAfee yesterday, saying that him and the Steelers are in contract talks, and he's blowing up Twitter, saying how much he loved his teammates, loved the team, loved Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I mean,
he's love bombing us. I missed the tweet. I missed him love bombing us, man.
Part of that could be Russ just trying to build up his own value, build up his own leverage, right? Because maybe they're not even having talks. Maybe Russ is just saying that to make it seem like he's valued to teams across the league that may be looking for a quarterback. So I'd say it's 50-50 based off Steelers' traditional approach to a situation like this, plus based off of Russ said on the McAfee show versus, Dulac's reports and him saying that the Steelers are thinking Fields and maybe thinking more long-term with this thing and trying to get the guy with upside, trying to get the guy with talent to live up his potential and potentially be the future for us. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. Obviously, I say we should do Fields, but I don't know what the Steelers are going to do.
Yeah, when I saw the Russ thing, man, I was like, yo, he's telling the truth. But I also like how he just left it there. He don't give a lot of detail. And everybody's going to run with it how they run with it for most of the reasons, man. We want to get to the end. We want the finish line. We want the answer. We want to know, yo, are you coming back? Are you not coming back? Is it Fields? Is it Russ? Like, why are they talking to you? Why haven't they talked to Fields? Like, what's going on? But to me, man, I don't think that he was blowing smoke or anything like that. Him publicly talking about it, I think for him it's because he had good news, but also it does add to your value league-wide. If, other teams know that you are having conversations, good. But literally, when we talk about the conversation of a contract negotiation for both parties, it's a long process, and this is the start of it. And literally, the contract negotiation part starts when they had that one-on-one meeting whenever the season ends, the day or two afterwards, and they're going to ask him, yo, do you want to be back here? And if he says, yeah, Coach T is like, I want you back here, then that's the first stage of the negotiation. It doesn't mean that the contract is going to get done. It doesn't mean that he actually will be back. But it's just the first initial step of, I think I want to have this go forward. Now let's see, can we make details work? What does the role look like when I come back next year? If I were to come back, what does the role look like if we wanted you to come back next year? Who else are we bringing in here to compete with you? Are you the clear-cut guy, or are you our backup veteran? Like, there are a lot of conversations that have to be had throughout this process on top of, for the Steelers organization, there's no incentive for you to get the deal done today anyways. You want to see pro days. You want to see combines. You want to see senior bowls, shrine game, all the other type of stuff that takes place before you make a decision one way or the other on one of those guys. So take as much time as you can, And that's typically why the deals don't get done until March time frame in terms of those free agency or unrestricted free agent extensions here. But I do think that the convo was as simple as, yo, do you want to be here? They was like, yeah. He's like, do you want to be here? He's like, yeah. Technically, they're having a negotiation right there. That's technically the start of it. But we'll see what the details look like. I started to laugh, though, because I thought of the convo that me and you had the other day when we were saying, would Russ take less to guarantee that he could come back? So when you said he's on Twitter doing oh man, Pittsburgh and this and that, and then I see the McAfee thing, I'm like, hold on, bro, like maybe he is about to take the layup deal. Hey, don't worry about what the other market looks like. Don't worry about Fields for 20 mil, 30 mil, 15 million of that. I'm willing to come for this. And it's like, yo, if that number is low enough, we not acting like Russ is this bad quarterback who we ain't feel great about at various points in times this season. If that number is stupid low, the team is for certain going to consider it heavily. So I think that's the other part that I'm just like, I don't know what's about to happen now. Like, if you doing all this stuff, man, what are you willing to actually come back for? Because don't tell me this, but you telling the team you want 20 mil, you want 30 mil, you want 40 mil, because that isn't that. But if you saying all of this stuff and you saying, yeah, I would come back and it's some stupidly low number, yeah, that stage I'm saying to myself, okay, I really got to consider this because we will all say it went wrong the last 5 games. So my question is, how do we not go wrong the last 5 games? How do we figure that part out of this question? You know what I mean? And from there, depending on how much he is willing to take, now you looking way different about what you can do offensive wise in terms of weapons. But we don't know what that number is. But that was kind of how I took it as well, though.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he is willing to take like another vet minimum contract for like $1 million,
mm-hmm.
that would make me not want to sign him even more, to be honest.
Okay.
It's like, you want this too bad, bro.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's, to me, it's less at this point.
Even though you'll be saving a lot of money, though.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you get Fields for market value, it's $10 million. I think.
Is that his market value, though?
That's what I'm seeing everywhere.
Okay, 10. I was about to say, what is his market value right
10,
now?
11.
Okay.
Maybe 15 on the high end. I think that, again, to me, I think the time you're investing is more important than that degree of dollar amount of paying Russ like a vet man versus Fields getting the 10, 11 million, like the prove it deal 1 year
mm-hmm.
for that amount. Because with Russ, I think you're spending your tires, exact same spot. You're not finding out any new information. I think we already got the information that we need. With Fields, you could have an answer one way or another, whether he could be the guy for the future or, and then it's time to pivot. You go into 2026, maybe you trade the house, try to get Arch Manning in the draft. Who knows? You try to find a different direction, a different quarterback, maybe even a whole different approach to offense. But I think that's the point where you're going to want to be at the end of 2025 and answer one way or another. Whereas you kind of, in a way, saw what happened this year. Now we're in this, man, what do we do at quarterback? What do we do? I think we got our answer, at least with Russ, in terms of, like, he's not getting over the hump. He's not beating a Joe Burrow or any of these other guys in the AFC to that degree.
I would agree. I would agree with you there.
So it's like, I don't want to waste my time. Let's move off this.
When you bring up Aaron Rodgers, though, wouldn't that be the same thing, though?
No, because it's Aaron Rodgers. And if anything, here's the thing: we did. Let's say we went the Aaron Rodgers approach this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did with Russ last year.
Okay.
Where they had a season, they had a moment, different organization, like their second team after their main franchise team. Didn't work out. Rodgers, a little bit different reason than Russ, but coming off the Achilles. Jets, you could say bad organization. With Russ in Denver, it wasn't a good mesh with Sean
mm-hmm.
Payton. It's like, what could they look like with a different team, different structure, different organization for like that third chance, like that
mm-hmm.
third strike? And I think Russ here, I don't want to say like complete fail or it was awful, because we did have good moments with Russ, but in terms of getting that answer that we really want, that we really desire, I don't think he's it. So Rodgers, yeah, that's what I'd be doing with him, and I just think Rodgers is an all-time better quarterback too. All-time better quarterback.
Going against that part, yeah.
and even right now, even at 41, can make many more throws than like a Russell Wilson can.
That's fair.
Can do more things as a quarterback for you. So that's what I'm thinking the difference is between those two in terms of like giving Rodgers a chance here versus giving Russ another chance here.
Okay.
It'd be like it
because it's just almost like it's something new.
It's something new, and like that's what you were doing with Russ last year, and I understood that. Like I think we all understood. Like what could Russ look like with the Steelers after things didn't work out in Denver? Whereas with Rodgers, this is his time to go to that potential third team if he doesn't go back to the Jets, which I think he is from my sources.
Talk your talk.
I think he's going back to the Jets. I think they'd be stupid to move off him, but yeah, that's why I'd be interested in Rodgers. I think if it's been done before with like a Brady, it's been done before with like a Brett Favre late in their careers, where new situation they give you that elite play. We tried it with Russ. Again, and I don't think it worked out to the extent that we wanted to. So let's stop wasting time. Okay. Rodgers, listen, man. That's the thing with Rodgers. If there's a chance he could be an elite quarterback for the next year or two, I'll take it, man. I'll take elite quarterback play for a season or two than not having it and still looking for that future, that guy that could be there for the next 10 years. The Buccaneers did it. They had it. They knew their time with Brady was limited. They weren't going to get 6 years, 7 years out of him. They got 2 and eventually 3 whenever he unretired and came back. It's like, you take that, man. You take that. You see like the Rams approach to things. It's like, let's try to win. Like if you have an opportunity to win, take that chance. And since we aren't moving off of Tomlin, we're bringing certain pieces back, I think Rodgers should be considered.
You say, man.
It's not. That's not happening though either. Let's just be real. It should seriously be considered though.
I like. I'm trying to roll with it, bro. Like, you be so dismissive of it though. Like, it was not about to happen. It's just not gonna happen.
It's not. It's not. So it's Fields. That's what I mean. All right, I'll win on Fields then. Those are my two
don't
options.
have a sliver of hope that Rodgers could be just a little like.
Who, Rodgers?
Yeah, you don't see it at all. Like,
come here? No.
What's your big reason? Like, what are like your big reasons of why?
It's too big of a move for us.
That is a big move. Yeah.
I don't think the organization would be happy with Rodgers going on McAfee every week. Like, honestly, I honestly think a part of the agreement would be
bro.
Like, you're done on McAfee.
It's a lot. I
would actually agree with that stance from the organization. If I brought Rodgers in here, I'd say no more McAfee.
No, it's
you're done.
a lot with it, bro.
I would agree with that stance.
He probably doesn't go for that, doing him.
I doubt it, but if he wants to play next year that bad, maybe that's a concession he has to make.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to make that concession because of the Titans or something stupid like that. But I can't really see too many places outside of the Jets that would interest him that much to take a chance on his like reputation and just like his legacy.
Because I would say if Jacksonville
Steelers, I think would be a team
moved on from Trevor.
What
if Jacksonville moves on from Trevor?
If Rodgers finishes his career with the Jaguars, it's like, man, him going to the Titans, man.
All right, Kyler Murray get up out of Arizona, he can go there. Kurt Warner approach,
man.
That's tough.
Kurt Warner was doing that to fight for his career.
I know. I was about to say it definitely was not.
He went there
a
to be
good
the backup,
look.
actually.
Yeah, it worked out for him. Yeah,
because Matt Leinart didn't really live up.
No,
I think Steelers would be the Steelers.
I'm trying to think where's
low key. It'd be the Vikings.
What
just
about
go full Brett Favre?
I don't think he's gonna lean into it like that.
Maybe the Raiders. Though. Maybe
I was gonna ask what is going on in Seattle?
Okay,
if you move off of Geno. Might bring him out there. I don't think that's completely frowned upon.
No, actually,
they still respectful. You know what I mean?
They should consider that. Yeah,
and that's if they want to move off of Geno, because we would all agree that Aaron Rodgers, we like him over Geno. So
yeah,
and you paying them both anyways. So it's like, man, if I'm paying Geno $100 million quarterback now,
All right, next.
Man, shout out to Mike Hood on that one too, man.
We got Joe Garrett's most as a player. What do you think about the season, not the business aspect, also the season as a fail till we get a playoff win? No team in the past 3 years has really contended. Feels like fool's gold.
as a player, what do you think about the season, not the business aspect? And then also the season is a fail till we. Okay, so the first part is for me. The second part, I'm assuming, is him just saying that to him the season was also a fail because we didn't get a playoff win. And he feels like in the past 3 years we haven't really contended. We just feel like fools go. I don't have an issue with that sentiment. Like I said, as a player, man, you look at it from both sides. You say, man, we didn't win a championship. Nothing is bigger than winning a championship. So that forever means you didn't do good. But at the same time, we also believe in the context because we're more on the journey and more on the process than the actual like reward at the end. So that's why for us, we appreciate this milestone, that milestone, this mountain, that mountain, that mountain. And it's like, man, I had to get up to the 50th floor to get to this championship. And daggone, man, I got to the 40th and fell. It's like, yo, that sucks. But we don't minimize the 40 floors that we've already conquered. Nah, we say, bro, we just got to get to these final 10. So for me, that's how I look at this season. I say, man, there is a lot of good with this squad, but there's also some real life stuff that they got to improve upon. And I think talent is some of that they got to get better at. And that's why you've heard with the free agent stuff that I'm talking about from an offensive standpoint. That's my direction there. But as a whole, it's like, man, it was a lot of positive this year. So as a player, that's how we talk about it. We hardly ever live in the absolutes. We hardly ever live in like the emotional element of it. Hence the reason why a lot of us are kind of even keel as it pertains to the play in and play out stuff. Like if it's something exciting, all right, cool, we'll give you some emotion. But as a whole, never too high, never too low, because you watch that tape, man, you can have the best game ever. And there are going to be plenty of days you can be like, yo, that wasn't good enough. I could have done that better. I could have done that better. And then it's going to be games where you feel like you stink it up out there. And you're going to get back to that tape. You be like, it actually wasn't that. It actually wasn't that. Oh, dang, it was just that. All right, respect. And that's the way that we operate as players. So that's why even when me and Deke get to coming in here and we, start talking, we'll bump, a little bit with our perspectives on it because it's way more emotion removed from my eyes. And it's always analytical, pros, cons. If it's a strength, then it's a weakness. If there was a good, then there was a bad. And we live there versus I'm stuck on this or I'm stuck on this. That's just, the way that we're conditioned from the player's perspective of it. So that's why my perspective is what it is on it, man. And yeah, as you've heard me say multiple times too with that, is like, I don't try to change anyone's perspective because everybody's perspective is going to be built upon what their own experiences are. Not a lot of people have the experience that I have. So I don't anticipate a lot of people understanding why I think of it the way that I think of it, why I'm as patient as certain elements of it, and why I'm a little bit more, I need this right now in certain elements. Just the experiences I've had. So as it pertains to the game, and especially at this level, yeah, I feel very confident in my makeup and my approach to it. But it was largely because of the experiences I've had along the way and just the things I learned, being in there. So that's why I said how I said in terms of I think the team did do a ton of positive stuff. But yeah, they still got a little gap that they got to close at the end of this day. But that's how I look at it, baby.
Xavier Ismay. I get Deke harping on the final five. Moats as a player. How do you weigh? Got to have it games or moments matter more than first game, even if every game counts?
So it's not an issue of which game counts more versus less. As players, man, we live in the week to week. You hear us always talk about the next game is the biggest game. Why? Because it's the next one. So that's why you always get that player talk of, man, I can't tell you who we got 3 weeks from now because I'm so locked in on this week. I can't tell you, man, this is what's coming up. Nah, we're so singularly focused. It's so tunnel vision, especially while you're in that season mode that by the time you get to what everybody else is deeming a big game, you're like, bro, y'all been telling me every week the past 5 weeks were big games. It was a big game when we got to the 7th one. It was a big game when we got to the 8th one. It was even bigger for the 9th. If you keep winning, the next one should be the bigger game. And that's the mindset. So for us, the way that we kind of approach that is just literally sticking with the process. What is your process, your routine? What do you do on Monday? What is your Tuesday? What is your Wednesday, your Thursday, your Friday, your Saturday, and then game day? And you live there. You don't allow, man, I got this game coming up, so let me prepare this way. Because now your rhythm's off. Oh, man, all right, it's fourth quarter, it's late in the game. I got to juice down. It's like, no, you don't practice that, so why are you going to do this now? You're doing something out of characteristic. And now you're going to put yourself in position to do something really bad because you don't work on this. So once again, you just fall back to the process, the journey, this is what I do on Mondays to prepare for the game. This is what I do on Tuesdays to prepare for the game. This is Wednesday to prepare for the game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's kind of how we weigh it, and that's kind of how we handle it. You let the chips fall where they may. Less about the result, more about the journey of it. So it's like, man, we did all this. We had a shot to it. Daggone, we ended up falling. All right, what went right? What went wrong? Let's get back on the wagon. Let's do it again. Hardly ever got that mindset of, oh, man, it was terrible. It's quit. It's final. It's never final. How much time we got left? As long as I'm alive, as long as we got it's 10 seconds on the clock, we down 30. That's all right. We'll figure it out. That's the mentality, man.
Jeff H, guys, it feels like we're repeating the same mistakes. We have an O-lineman playing on his opposite side. Our running backs can't run behind our line, so we blame him trying to hold on to an older quarterback. Maybe it's me, though.
I mean, I don't think he's off all the way, but these are still the same issues that be popping up.
Raymond Kane, what's y'all best case realistically for a wide receiver room next year? I like 1A, Higgins, 1B, Pickens, 2, D. Slayton, 3A, Calvin, 3B, Roman, special teamer, Ben Skoranek. Experimental, Deontay.
All right. I definitely like 1A. Now, question, is he saying 1A being Higgins and Pickens together part of that group? Is that what I'm reading this? Or is he saying option? So. Okay.
Yeah.
And then option 2 is Slayton. Is that Slayton with Calvin and Roman? Is what I'm assuming? I
think that's a 1.
That's how I'm reading it, right?
It's a 6-man, 7.
7 with Skoranek, right?
7 with Deontay.
Oh, with the experiment with Deontay. Okay. Yeah, I definitely prefer the Higgins one. I would rather go Higgins. I would rather spend it and go get him.
Yeah, I think that's his room. Higgins, Pickens, Darius Slayton, Calvin, Roman compete for that next guy, special teamer, Skoranek.
That 3A.
And Deontay.
I like it. I could work with that.
It's definitely feasible.
As long as Higgins is here, I could work with it.
It's feasible.
Yeah. Because you still got some carryover, too. I think Calvin, I guess because of how he's counting it as 1A, 1B, I see what he's doing there. Because I was like, yo, I don't think Calvin just sitting behind Slayton either. I think he could push that a little bit more. I like Calvin. Calvin grew a lot this year. I've seen a lot from Calvin this year, man.
Yeah, he had a good season.
Yeah.
Adrian Martinez, last time we won in November and December, we had Mason at quarterback and blew that up. Mason could have done better at quarterback. There has to be dysfunction on the team. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think we could have went 10-7 with Mason or Kenny this year, for sure.
Would you have felt the same in the process of it?
I don't know. It could have been a completely different. I think we at least could have done that. I mean, we did it the year prior, and you had Mitch in there for 3 games.
I'm with you on the end result, yeah. But the reason why we did the quarterback hunt was because of how we felt in the process.
I don't know.
Of it.
Yeah, I don't know how we look in the playoffs. Because the answer we wanted to get to, if we would have went with a Kenny Mason type of thing, is can these guys be the future? So if we're at the point where, if we lose a playoff game like we did this year with Kenny, and obviously I have the feeling he can't go toe to toe with these AFC quarterbacks, then you got to be pivoting, going a different direction.
Yeah, because I feel like you're going to feel the same about if I would have been like Kenny versus Mason. I feel like you was coin flip on either one of them coming into this season.
Yeah, without Mason ended the season, I didn't care who started. I think we could have won with either of those two dudes at quarterback. I liked how we ended the season. I liked how Kenny looked in the game and a half without Canada. Obviously, didn't really like how he reportedly handled the Mason situation when he got named the starter in Seattle. But I mean, yeah, you drafted that guy in the first round for a reason. So I think you could have given him a chance at a third year.
Yeah.
And obviously Mason, he had some mojo. Thought he won the locker room over. Still young enough, so it's like, why not give him a chance too? Why not just make it a open competition between the two? We didn't. We signed Russ for $1 million. That's not a bad decision either. And things played out the way that they did. Tons of fun. How do we have a chance when you're saying the other team is elite, or you praise guys like Lamar? We worry more about getting one playoff win. The convo makes it sound like we're effed either way.
So from my perspective, the reason why I say it the way that I say it is, yeah, if you don't have one of those guys, you're going to be having to play pretty much perfect. And the reason why I'd say the elite or praise guys like Lamar is because he is one of those guys. If you got one of them, I'm going to talk about them like they one of them because they proved it. So, yeah, if you don't have one of them dudes that is a Lamar, is a Patrick Mahomes, is a Josh Allen, is a Joe Burrow, yeah, we're going to have questions, or at least I'm going to have questions. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about you to the same extent that I talk about them dudes. So, yeah, but is it impossible to beat them? No. But the amount of detail it's going to take, the amount of precision it's going to take, the amount of you have to be as close as you can be to perfection, yeah, not a lot of people can sustain that for 4 quarters. That's the reality of it. So that's why we put more, from my perspective, I'm putting more emphasis on those guys this go around, because I've seen it multiple times now where we have had emphasis on defense, and it's just like, that isn't enough to deal with that type of firepower. So the way to deal with it is to go get a bigger gun. So that's why I'm saying, hey, if you can't get that quarterback, you better load up at wide receiver, you better load up at tight end, you better load up at running back, you better load up everywhere else that touches the football. That's why I want resources to be spent at. But that's how I see it, though.
Malvo does it. Join the upper room.
Shout out to the homie Malvo does it, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Jeff H says, y'all take it easy on Deke. I watched my favorite players retire and didn't like it either. So when 7 was done, I knew. Shaq, Troy, Kobe. Celebrate 7. By the way, Moats, your guy Braun can't see my guys one-on-one.
Ooh, I like it, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shoot, Shaq, man, that was one of my favorite dudes. That's why I wore 34 in basketball, baby. So, I ain't sweating you. And shoot, I got plenty Kobe. I'm more of an 8 Kobe than 24. Just throwing it out there. But shout out to Braun all day, every day.
Dallas is close to hiring Brian Schottenheimer as head coach. LOL, the Cowgirls stay a joke.
Hey, man. I thought they was going to go prime time, man. They supposed to go Dion. How they going to go Schottenheimer? But who are the other candidates right now anyways?
I saw Pete Carroll was in the mix.
I forgot about Pete.
That would have been a good hire.
Oh, boy. I think Pete and Jerry bump, though. I can see that bumping.
That's on Jerry.
I would agree, but I think it's because of Jerry. I think he's way too involved I think Pete wouldn't like that. And Pete knows his stuff too, man.
Exactly.
I think that would be an issue.
Be a good hire.
Yeah, I think that'd be an issue, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm any of these teams,
like, I'm
seriously considering Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I didn't know he was back. I knew he was because he did like the little advisory role, I thought, in Seattle last year. I didn't know he was back on the wagon. Shoot. Shout out to Pete. Pete, hey, listen, if it don't work out, you can come join the staff. We can never have enough excellent, brilliant minds around the building. I'll tell you that, man. Pete could certainly be in Pittsburgh with us. Absolutely, Pete, pull up.
Yeah, maybe he could give us a fresh perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Pete, man. Pete knows stuff.
AJ Martinez says, I would clean house, brand new everything, brand new uniforms. If we blow it up now, we win a title in 10 years instead of putting on the Band-Aids.
All right. I ain't tripping on it. Hey, you gave me a time limit. 10 years. Okay, that's real. We obviously know it doesn't work clearly like that, but if that were the example, it's like I would be interested to see like who on the front end says they would sign up for a championship in 10 years versus the ones that say I would sign up for the championship in 2 years, in 8 years of stink following it. Or the one that would, hey man, give me the build up. I get it at 5 and then, all right, it could tailor off. Everybody kind of like different in terms of how they would what I would will and how much I'm willing to go to get the championship today. Some people are like, I'd rather win the day and never win. If I win today, I don't care about the next 20 years. Like, some people feel like that.
I don't think anyone's like that.
Well, clearly Philadelphia wasn't like that. We saw they won the Super Bowl a couple years later. It was like, hey, you ain't done it quick enough. You got to go. Then you got Pittsburgh, where it was like, you won it. You ain't won it since then. It's like, yo, you still here. So we see it's different. Then you had Cincinnati, where it was like, you weren't even getting close to the dance. We ain't even see you had success. Yo, you here. You good. So.
Tons of fun. They play well, but it can be great with develop.
1,000%. And that's the part that we're trying to figure out how to get that better, man. Coaching stuff does matter. And there are certain changes that will happen with that. Schematic stuff does matter. Personnel also matters, man. And players and who they're paired with. In terms of, we would talk about with, like the example with the linebackers, right? If you put two run-stopping linebackers together, they could be the best run-stopping linebackers. But if you play against a team that's trying to throw, man, one of these dudes is going to need to be a cover guy. Otherwise, they both just look god-awful. They both look trash, out of place. Same if you got two cover linebackers and you playing against a team that wants to run that rock, you going to run into a bad situation, man. So with that, yeah, you got to have a little bit of both, man. You want to have that context of great players and some just good players. But everybody has to play up to their full potential. That's the part that I'm looking for this offseason, man. That needs to be that messaging, because you and me would both say the same thing about TJ. You and me would both say the same thing about Mink. We would say the same about a lot of these players of, yo, they are capable of being the best in the world. And we feel like some of these dudes are the best in the world. But we would also say there were times where we felt like, yo, it got quiet. It didn't have the loud production week in and week out on both sides of the ball. And I think that's the part where we got to get that part to get more consistent. It's dominant, but it's like, yo, give me it all the time, not just 90% of the time or 85% of the time. Let me get the full gamut. And I mean, we ain't the only team that's trying to find that, but to me, those are certain things that I'm looking at from an intangible standpoint, because I can't point roster for roster and just say, oh yeah, that guy's god awful, he sucks. Yeah, we don't have this guy, he sucks. Nah, we're not going to say that when we go player for player. We're going to feel good about a lot of our pieces already, but we got to get that finish, that detail at the end of it. So
AJ Martinez says, I'm not a hater of Coach T. Coach T teams have expectations that don't come true. Cower power teams were always building with a direction for the team.
Hey, respect, man.
Benny Guava, the answer is to hire me at offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. I'll get the job done.
Get my man Beanie in the building, man. I'm for the homie Beanie.
AJ says, I'm not a hater of Coach T, but what are we? A passing team, a running team, a defensive team. With Cower, we ran the ball and played complementary defense, pass when needed.
No, respect.
Let's get you Dub. Rodgers is a big head case. He's as big of a head case as AB. Hell no, I would straight up not watch the team if they sign him. We don't want the drama or his noodle arm. Wow. It's Aaron Rodgers, man.
I'm just glad he said it. He said, I was like, oof, that's heavy.
I can't believe these people out here so dismissive of Aaron Rodgers.
You see it, they did multiple of them too. That was oof. He said, man, got a noodle on. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean,
that's who we are.
I have my critiques of Rodgers.
That's who we are, bro.
From a total career standpoint, but one of the all-time greats, man. It's one of the all-time legends. And am I wrong? He's always been a level above Russ. Like, when has anyone ever said Russ is better than Rodgers?
I'm with you, bro.
So that's another reason why I take a chance on an Aaron Rodgers. Man.
I mean, shoot, I don't even like the Jets at all, but even watching them, I'm just like, hey, this is still juice in there now. Don't play with it. There's juice in there, but man. I think we would all agree Rodgers, talent-wise, is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen play this game. That's why so many people are like enamored or were enamored with him as a player. Because it's like, yo, his ability to throw the football, the different arm angles and all the other things, along with the ability to run, and he has the size. That's the other part. It's like with Russ, we know historically Russ has a great arm, man. Accurate, big arm, could throw the bomb, has the legs. But we all would say, yo, he's still smaller. And there were certain elements that from just preparing to play against both of those guys, there is a different threat when we're preparing for Rodgers. It's like this he's literally can make every single throw in this field. He's going to see every single body up here. Even when you don't think he can see the guy, he can see the guy, and he's going to hit this throw. But he also can take off and really cook you. And he's super smart, doesn't make any bad decisions. Whereas with Russ, we're like, yo, Russ going to do the reverse spin out the back, you know what I mean? Like trying to create space. But you can get to this dude, man. And yeah, the whole thing was try to keep him in the pocket because he's short. You can't take that approach with Rodgers when Rodgers is playing like Rodgers. You keep Rodgers in the pocket you want to, he going to light you up there. When Rodgers is healthy and he can move, it's like, yo, he light you up there too. Whereas with Russ, we were just like, yo, we felt like Russ, Drew Brees were the same in terms of the approach of keeping them in the pocket. Obviously with Brees, we just felt like he was just way faster with his read to get it out, more of that rhythm. And I think that's what Sean Payton was wanting out of Russ, whereas Russ is more, I'm going to improvise on it, but I'm also going to take them big shots down the field. And that's the part with Russ where it makes him special. But I think all of us would be on the same page with career-wise, just Ben Rodgers.
Yeah. So I'd be willing to take a chance on the dude. I would be.
Yeah. Rodgers got into the bad graces, man, with the ending in Green Bay and then how it's been in New York. So it's really made people sour on him. Yeah. And now they're like almost like hypercritical of anything that he does or says. And the thought of him being on your team, it makes people get like skittish. They're like, hold on. No. And it's like, I get that part. That part is loud. That part is very real. That's the AB, right? That's the, when you're talking to AB, it's like, yo, I love what he brings, but you also know what he brings. But there's a reason why everybody still considers him, because of how talented this dude has been and still is. But you do see where he's aging, and the mobility part is real. And I think that that's the concern, but he was also recently removed from the Achilles. And the same way I look at Kirk and I'm looking at him and I'm saying, yo, recently removing Achilles, he don't move the same. Rodgers older. So I'm like, yeah, I want to see what it looks like. But the problem is you don't get a chance to fast forward the next year to see what another year removed in a full off season. Now is he back to having that mobility that's going to get some of those little things that have made him great that we're kind of missing at times this season. But you got to make that decision before you get to the season, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd be willing to take that chance. Yeah. I'd sign up for it. AJ Martinez says Tito, Frank, Barbarian, X Concepts, Mr. Hood, and Ryan.
Hey, shout out. Absolutely. Oh, let me get this one real quick. Jeff H, this was a little bit earlier. He says, I'm good on the Mannings. I think he's talking, because you brought up Arch. I think that's what it was. He says, I'm good on the Mannings, all of them, most overrated ever. Bro, y'all heavy-handed with these QB shots today. Boy, you got Let's Go UW, said my man Aaron Rodgers got the noodle arm. Now he's saying all the Mannings are most overrated ever. Okay. How you feel about the Mannings, man?
Yeah, maybe a little overrated, but they're Hall of Famers. Peyton's, how we just talked about Rodgers and Russ. Obviously, Peyton's in like a different class than Eli. But both Hall of Famers. Call him Eli.
You funny. I'm just saying. I mean, we just talk Rodgers and Russ.
I don't know. I mean, in a big game, if I need a guy,
I love it.
I remember this was a legit conversation.
It was.
Take Eli Peyton. Game for your life.
Who was the one for the big game? Eli's the big game quarterback, bro. We didn't see it.
Yeah,
but. Payton definitely that dude though. Okay.
I can't really say.
Yeah. That's there.
I think they're a little overrated, but to the degree I think he's talking.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Eli might be underrated. I actually might consider him underrated.
Oh.
Maybe. Depending on who I'm talking to.
I was like,
he's a Hall of Famer
here?
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer to me. Hall of Famer.
They're underrated unless we're bringing up 7.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. if we don't bring Seven into the convo, I think they can be viewed Eli a little bit underrated. I think when Seven gets into the convo, not just specifically with you, but I think because they try to use the Super Bowls against it, now it's like, all right, bro, you kind of overrated this dude's career. But I can see him being underrated a little bit. Yeah. I think Peyton's low-key properly rated. I don't look at Peyton as the greatest of all time, but I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks. I think he's going to be in that convo. And, yeah, I don't think he's wrong for that. I don't say he is that, though. But I think he definitely belongs in that convo, from my eyes.
Richard Arbiza says, Moats, you better get Deke a ticket to the Super Bowl since you performing the 1-800-GAMBLER with Kendrick and my girl SZA at halftime. Deke can't meet her, though.
Dang. Deke might like SZA. I don't know. Yeah. You know who SZA is, right?
No, not really.
Okay. Music artist, singer. She going on tour with Kendrick, man. Actually be in Hershey Park this summer, if I remember correctly. Yeah, she got hits though, man. She got hits on her own, hits with Kendrick, hits with Drake too. Yeah.
Well, I've seen her name
pretty fire.
Featured in
SZA's fire, bro.
Several songs that are popping these days. I don't really know much about her though.
Okay. Not as wild as Amber. Not as, when your BMs and stuff like that, poop on beds and stuff. That I don't think SZA does any of that. Not that I know of. So. Never know.
Tons of fun. Drive a quarterback and get them on that VR training.
Hey, hold on, though.
Draft a quarterback and get them on that VR training.
Hold on. We're going to get to the VR training part. But Richard said, I better get Deke a ticket to the Super Bowl since I'll be performing 1-800. Why is he implying that I'll be at the Super Bowl? What's going on here? Is he picking the Bills to win? Is that what that was?
No, I think he's just saying you wanna sing that song.
I was just checking. I ain't know. I just needed to ask a question. That was it. Just checking. Deke would definitely go to the Bills win the Super Bowl, though.
No.
Deke said, I ain't go to a game all year. I'll show up to that one, though. Ain't nothing wrong with it, Deke, man. I like it, bro. I ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's definitely, I think that's what it was, though. Yeah. And then instead of having to post, it could be a picture of you at the Super Bowl with Josh getting the confetti on as the backdrop. That'd be the new backdrop. I can see it already, bro. I can see it.
No. No.
Oh, yeah, but tons of fun.
Training. Sure.
Yeah, I did see that, dude.
Whatever can help.
Yeah, I did see the VR thing. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. Whoever the VR company is, that's a heck of a promotion they just got right there. I don't know if it still is going to work for everybody to the same level, but you know how it is, man. If that person's doing it, it works all great, man, shoot, better hop on. But I wonder, like, with the TB12 stuff, it's like, how many dudes is all the way on that right now, or whatever Mahomes is on,
Yeah, Kenny needs to get on the Mahomes protocol.
You don't want the TB12?
I don't. Either one, whatever way that stops him from getting hurt all the time.
Yeah, because it was like, man, one of the, it's something.
Dom D12, you really want to see Rodgers blaming everyone else on the team except for himself on Pat McAfee every week. Re-sign Justin, please. Well, I told you we would probably have serious conversations with him about not going on McAfee every week.
He can't be on
I
the
think
show.
That would be a stipulation with signing him. I bet you. Like I honestly think that's something they would consider before signing him.
You have to. Because it gets too loud when he goes up there and says whatever he's going to say if it doesn't flow with the messaging that week of the team.
Especially with how we operate things here. We like to try to keep things conservative and as quiet as possible.
And he definitely be the opposite of that right now.
DeAndre Zoe, I feel like if we sign Rodgers, we got to get rid of GP. Rodgers, one slick remark after a bad game from GP going to crash out.
Yo. Red line. You never know. Never know. I can see GP, but I don't know. GP might have a level of respect for Rodgers, though.
Yeah.
Because it's one of them ones. So as a player, when you're in there, you might look at that a little different, but you're still a man. So, yeah.
Eddie Martinez says Jay Farrow, Dedon, Jeff H, 900 Juice, Noriega, and Tom.
Hey, shout out to the gang.
He's also shouting out Cookie Monster, Leah, Jay Moods, and Steeler Road Warrior.
Hey, shout out to the homies, Cookie Monster. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Jay Moods. And, of course, Steelers Road Warrior, man. Let's get it.
That's the last of the chats today.
All right. And we are at, 25? Yeah, it was like perfect. All right. What time did we say?
Whatever.
No. We got 40.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, let's go 40
That's
then.
fine.
All right, so this is what we'll do then. I'll let you choose. Dealer's choice. You want to talk picks for the week coming up this weekend, or do you want to go free agents? Steelers free agents in house. Your call. Whatever we don't do, we hit on Monday. You know, I ain't tripping.
I mean, we got. I don't think we got much to talk about with the picks. We got 2 games.
Because I'm picking on mine.
I'm pretty sure I locked it up. I'm not gonna front.
Whoa, what? This weekend?
Yeah.
Hold on. You think you like this weekend?
Yeah.
Are you? Deke,
Yeah.
don't play, Deke. Why you playing, bro? Hold on. Let me just check. I ain't even look. I just when the game won, I just felt great about it.
All it was the KC game.
The one game won, I felt great. No, Deke, don't you do me like that, Deke? Hold on,
Once
bro.
that happened, it was over.
Deke, don't you do me like that? Because I really ain't paying attention to the. Oh, whoa! No! I gotta see this.
I was up 6.
Let me think of the spreads. I gotta think of the spreads because I'm over here like Bills. I had Bills, Commanders. Yeah, you had the freaking Chiefs, but I had Eagles though. So but the spread, I got to see what the spread is. I don't know the spread.
We either tied the Eagles game or I won that one because of the spread.
Let me see. Do I have that? Because you're right. Oh God, dog.
So I think I'm up they're up 5 or 6.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be like out of reach.
Left.
I had to go undefeated. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take the Chiefs this week.
Oh man!
You still want to make some picks, some
consolation
picks?
No,
I'll take the Chiefs.
Hold on, Deke. No. Oh, that was what it was. We pushed the. Oh.
I think you needed them all though. Anyway, I think that
I did. I was hoping that the Texans would have lost with enough class.
I even picked the Bills anyway too. If you really think about it, I said
stop
I think the Bills were
it,
gonna win.
man.
Especially since they got points. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh,
they got
man.
the +1.5.
Oh, Deke. Dang, that's crazy.
It was a good season.
That's crazy. It was a terrible season. I hate this. How did this happen? I quit. This sucks. I don't know ball. I'm convinced.
You were kind of like the Steelers there.
Oh yeah. See, I just started picking. You got it. Just
I think you were up like 9 at one point.
Oh man, a bad week turned into another. Turned into another.
Like
and then it snowballed on me bad. Oh man. I'm just so disappointed. Jeez Louise. I bet the Pro Bowl could we get the Pro Bowl in here. All right, so let's see
I'm not doing that.
If we got these two,
No
Super
way.
Bowl, Pro Bowl, and bet the Senior Bowl. Yeah, just
I don't even know if that's enough.
I was like, I still have to go undefeated there. Then we go throw the Shrine game in there, and then we're gonna bet top 40s. All right, who got the top 40 out the running back group and the wide receiver group coming up in the combine, man? God, dog, I really got man. It was the refs. I'm convinced, bro. It was the referee's fault.
Maybe in the Chiefs game, yeah.
Yeah, it was the refs' fault. Otherwise, it's different. But yeah, I got cheated, bro. I like it. All right. So I guess I'm in debt. Shout out to being in debt.
I mean, we didn't even agree to anything though.
You're right, but I just feel like I'm in debt because I lost. You know how it is, bro. When you lose, you feel like I owe you something. I don't know what it is yet, but I owe you something. I lost.
Just for bragging rights.
Tom J said, "What's his prize?"
I ain't stressing about it.
Oh, God, dog, I really got beat. Like, oh my God, this is just I hate this. It sucks. Oh, God, dog. All right, Tom J. He said a new driver.
No, I like mine.
Oh, there it is. All right, shout out to the driver. I say it.
I just got new clubs too.
What you get?
I got new irons. I got them last year. I got
okay, there. Okay.
Stealths. I got new wedges.
Respect.
I'm good on clubs. I could use a putter though.
Ooh.
Definitely could use a putter.
Okay.
Most important part of the game.
This is true. This is very true. Bro, this is crazy. Deke, I really got washed, bro. How did this happen? I was literally crushing. Like, oh my gosh.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just so disappointed in myself, bro.
You picked the Bills too many times, I think.
Don't do me like that, Deke. There ain't no way they lose that much. I'm at a loss right now.
No,
man.
they were. I think they were the reason it was as close as it was.
They were my only saving grace, and I think that's
half
what
the time though. I mean, I thought the Bills were going to cover the spread. And I had to pick it apparently, especially last week, even though I wanted to pick the Bills.
It's just I just need a moment, bro. I think anytime the Bills would win, in my mind, I was like, oh, the rest doesn't matter. We're good. We won for the week. And I wasn't paying attention to the little battles that were just lost. And now I look up and it's like, yo, because this whole stretch, I'm like, oh, I feel great, man. Bills, man, I know we straight. I know I'm up this week. Oh, and that's why I feel so good this week, because I was like, oh, Bills win, man. I don't care about nothing. I know I'm straight. I know we up. And I'm like, that was the picks. That's how that happened? No. Dang, man. All right. It's all good. I can have happiness. I can still be happy. I can have happiness. I can still be happy. I see that evil smirk coming up on your face. This evil is look a little devil just popped up on your shoulder when I start saying that, Deke. Just get it out your mind. Just stop it now. Just leave it alone. It's
what?
All of us want to get Mahomes out of here. Don't I see that smirk? You over here like,
well, that's my
go
pick.
Chiefs. Don't you do that?
I'm not rooting for the Chiefs at all.
Are you sure?
I'm not rooting for anyone.
But you're definitely not rooting for the Chiefs, don't you telling me?
I'm rooting for a damn good football game.
But you do not want the Chiefs to win is what you are saying though, right?
I don't want the Bills to win either.
That's fine, but can I just hear you say you don't want the Chiefs to win? Can you just just make sure? Because I feel like you still are rooting for the Chiefs secretly.
I'm not rooting for anyone.
You sure, D?
I'm not rooting for anyone.
Okay, D. Why you man? Come on, bro.
It's a match between two evil teams. It's a lose-lose.
You'll be more happy if the Chiefs lose, though, is what we're saying.
But I am picking the Chiefs to win this. If we're gonna do consolation picks, I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Eagles.
Why you want to do that?
Those are my picks.
Why?
That's who I think wins.
No, why, Deke? Why you want to do that? That's crazy, man.
Last week I thought the Bills were gonna beat the Ravens.
And now this week you don't want to pick them again?
I don't think they're beating the Chiefs.
Why not?
Mahomes.
Oh, is that simple to you? So it's just quarterback. So it's either quarterback or no quarterback is what you're telling me. I think that's kind of crazy, Deke.
It's kind of.
That's kind of. They played earlier this year, Deke. You seen earlier this year.
At Buffalo. And it was regular season.
Deke. So you really want the Chiefs to win this?
Do I want them
to?
It
sounds like you're a Chiefs fan. It sounds like you're a Chiefs fan, bro.
No, I'm a Steeler fan.
A Steeler fan wouldn't want the Chiefs to win another one.
I'm a Steeler fan.
They're getting closer to 6.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not rooting for anyone here. It's not the Steelers. It's just you're just watching football, and you just gotta deal with it. Your team's not in it anymore. You just want to see good games. You just want to see some excitement. How it plays out is how it plays out. Is what it is.
All right. Question: if it would have been the Ravens this week, who would you have picked?
Who would I pick? Well,
if it was the Ravens. If it was the Ravens this week. The first Chiefs. If it was Ravens in this matchup, who would you have picked?
Ravens versus the Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs.
Okay.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
All right. So, outside of the Steelers, is there any team that I could name out the AFC that you would say, yes, above the Chiefs too? Or is it just okay? All right, no. So it ain't per. All right, I just make sure. I was like, "Yo, Deke, is this a Bills day? Like, Deke, don't do that, Deke. Come on, bro. Why you doing that, Deke? Come on, bro."
At this point, I would probably have to be honest. I'm just picking the Steelers because I like the Steelers. At this point, after seeing how we ended this season, my God.
Come on, man. God, dog, Deke. I thought you was I thought you was back in the good. I thought you was getting positive, man. Say, I'm just picking just because I'm picking them. All right, I don't believe him. I'm just picking it. There you go, man.
That's my team. I'll pick them, but geez, man. You know, when we were at 10-3, I would have really been like, oh yeah, we could beat the Chiefs.
Me too. Yeah,
for sure.
We were eyeing the Christmas
game
way differently.
You know what? At the time, let's say we do meet the Chiefs this year. I would have believed. I would have because we would have, I guess, beat the Texans or we would
beat whoever had to have beat. Yeah,
we would have been coming off a win against the Ravens. Okay, I'm definitely talking myself into that. I'm truly believing. So
because you back to back now.
I'm just saying that now because of how everything played out.
No, respect.
But for sure. So to your point, yes.
Okay.
There's not one team outside of the Steelers. I'm picking against the Chiefs right now.
Okay.
Because of Mahomes. It's pretty much that simple.
All right. I like that. So I can definitely understand you picking the Chiefs. And honestly, I'm right there with you with all the teams, except I would have had the second one in there. You would have had Pittsburgh in there. Of course, I'm going to throw Buffalo in there because I have had a chance to see them.
So you don't really believe, you're saying?
Oh, no. In fact, I believe a lot. The big reason is this. I look at multiple things, man. Number one, we know playoffs matter a ton, and the previous 2 times now it hasn't worked out, and we'll see about this third one. But on the other side, it's like I've already seen Josh have a ton of success against the Chiefs. I've seen Josh beat the Chiefs a ton of times, even in Kansas City. But we know this is the quote unquote hill for him now. Can you do it in Kansas City in the postseason? So I feel great about it, honestly, man. I think it's going to be a great game, but yeah, I like Buffalo in it, though, man. I like Buffalo. I think the time is right.
Who's coming out of the NFC?
I want Philly, but I think it's going to be the Commanders. I want it to be Philly, though. I want it to be Philly.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I could see Hurts playing bad, to be honest.
And I could see Daniels playing good.
They might need to swap him out for Kenny at halftime.
Which is fair.
If they want to redeem the season.
Which is fair.
Kenny already played good against the Commanders.
I think less people would be surprised if Hurts played bad than people would be surprised if Daniels played well, or even if Kenny had to come in. I don't think that'd be a surprise, man.
Hold on, say that again.
I think less people would be surprised if Hurts played like not good. If he had just a average game or a bad game, I don't think people are going to be surprised by that based off of just how he's been this year and realistically last year and this year. Whereas I think with Jaden, it's like we all kind of anticipating him playing well.
I'd say at least as of late, because I mean, look at his last like 6 or 7 games. His only good one was against us. I'm with you, man. Of course. One game against us, I don't know. He looks like 2022.
Little late MVP, bro. Yeah. What do we come here and say? We say, hey, bro, he was back in MVP mode playing like that. There you go. Now he went back to he got his receiver reading books on the sideline again. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so who you got out the NFC, man?
I think you're right. I do got a sneaky feeling Commanders somehow get it done, but I think there's just too much firepower on that Eagles team.
Third matchup too, though.
What?
Third matchup between them two.
Yeah. I just don't think the Commanders are that good outside of Jaden Daniels, like to that degree.
I think that's also true.
They benefit a little bit with Detroit shitting themselves.
Was it 4 turnovers in the game?
Yeah. I mean, they're good. It's just I think they're gonna run into a buzzsaw here.
Could dig it. I think their approach is just tricky. Like they make you.
Although Hurts could play bad though. That's the other. Yeah. Hurts could play bad if that happens, and it's more of an open game.
Yeah. To me, I just think that Kingsbury offense, man, it's got that spread college vibe to it. It takes dudes some time to get completely up to speed and acclimated with it. But I wonder with Philly, because they still see something similar to that in Hurts and with how they run their offense at times, if that's the reason why they're able to minimize some of the explosiveness of it. Because they handled them well in both of the matchups in the regular season, but we obviously know postseason be a little different.
Jay Farrow says if Hurts gets hurt, it's over. No, I think it's actually just beginning.
Deke said, that's what I want, baby. That's what I'm looking for.
I think the Eagles season is revived if that happens. I think there's a new hope.
I like it.
Kenny and A.J. Brown were cooking.
They had a moment or two. Yeah, they had a moment or two.
They were cooking whenever he was in. They had a good connection. You
right.
didn't see A.J. Brown reading a book when Kenny was in there.
This is very true. That book came out. I was like, hey.
Got him the ball. Got it to Devonta Smith, too.
When they got to start reading books, that ain't what you want, man.
Yeah.
That ain't what you want. I ain't never seen that one. So, all right.
I'm going Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl repeat a couple years ago.
All right. Give me Bills and Philly. Let's go. But definitely could see Commanders, unfortunately. All right. So we got, think a couple supers, man. Let's wrap this up and then get up out of here because we are right on it at 39.
AJ Martinez says, shout out to Diggler, 5'5", long live 7.
Hey, let's do it.
Let's go, UW. If Larry Foote doesn't get the DC job in Detroit, bring him home, Tomlin.
I would love that. Foote know his stuff. Would love that.
Who we can.
Even if he's not the DC, I just bring him in. He said bring him home. That's what he said, bring him home.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have to fire. Yeah, but say, what did TJ say? Man, you can add to the staff. We started with Brian Flores. We had Flo, TA, and Coach T all here together, and it was cooking. Break who? Shit, you join.
tons of fun. TB12 and Mahomes training, I haven't seen work, or at least proof of working for anyone but Brady Mahomes.
Okay.
VR helped a rookie. Just think about it.
No, so what I'm saying is this. What other rookie do we know it helped, though, is what I'm asking. Because that's what I'm saying. What separates the VR training for Jaden Daniels' success versus the Tom Brady TB12 because of Tom Brady or Mahomes is like,
well, I think
is it
Brady
that or is it
Mahomes
just
training
that's
is
who they are
for their body?
Okay.
So they don't get hurt, like health and stuff and diet. At least from what I saw on the Netflix thing, Mahomes was working on like pliability and flexibility.
Okay.
And we know like Brady's all about that too.
Yeah. The VR is just
VR,
like added like film session almost,
yeah,
but like walkthroughs and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know how VR can't help. If it's that, I haven't used it or tried it, but if it's that advanced where you actually,
it seems crazy, like how the stadiums out there and stuff.
Yeah, you feel like you're in a game. How's that not going to help?
Right, because you just get more reps. That's essentially what you're doing. You're
right.
You're getting reps,
getting more comfortable.
Yeah. Because I definitely like the advantage from a training standpoint of not having to physically be out there taking those reps, but you still get those reps, and visually the perception of it or the perspective of it is more natural versus like when you're watching film. We always got to remind ourselves that this vantage point isn't how you're always going to see it when you're actually like standing out there. You know what I mean? We talk about that. We're like, oh, why ain't this guy see this guy open right here? And it's like, that ain't the perspective that he is seeing the field from when he's in this position. So, but shout out to the VR though, man. We're going to see how it continues to expand though. We'll see. We'll see. But, that's all we got for today. Shout out to the gang. Shout out to all y'all rocking with us, man. If y'all enjoyed today's show, hit that like button one time for the culture. And don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. Deke, where you at this week, man? Where they can find you at?
Bleach Report tonight, 6:00.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, we got some good stuff cooked up. So stop through on the live, chop it up. And then that's about it, really. I mean, unless Kenny somehow plays in this Eagles game, I'll give a reaction to that. But
all right.
I don't know if you'll see me this weekend doing much.
Respect. All right.
Kicking back and relaxing. I feel like if Kenny plays, I have to give a reaction, right?
1,000%. Yeah. People go want you to go live. They'd be like, yo, Deke, pull up. We need to know what's
one
going
way
on.
or another.
Put your stream on. We're going to watch you, man.
Whether he gets in and is
seriously,
terrible,
bro.
If he gets in and balls out.
Kenny is in the game. Everybody's like, where is Deke? Literally, everybody's going to be thinking of you as soon as they show Kenny. It could be over there warming up. What's Deke thinking right now? What's on Deke's mind? Yeah,
you're right. I might have to go live.
Nah. We don't put it past Hurts tap it out at some point. We don't put it past him. So, yeah. But I like it then, man. I like it. Well, with that being the case, man, like I said, that will conclude today's show. So hopefully y'all enjoy.
Just to make it clear, I'm not rooting for any injuries out here.
I like the clarification.
Just to make it clear.
No, we ain't rooting for injuries, and we're not rooting for the Bills to lose either. I got you. You said you're not rooting for either team to win, but you're not rooting for the Bills to lose.
I mean,
you don't. Come on, Deke. Come on, bro. You're a Steelers fan, not a Chiefs fan. Steelers fan.
That has nothing to do with the Bills.
Yeah, do.
I don't mind seeing the Bills lose week in and week out.
No, Deke. No, we're going the wrong direction. That's the wrong direction.
I'm more of a Bills lose type of guy. Just like,
no, you're not.
Anytime Bills lose.
No, you're not.
Like,
that's not how you feel. That's no. Why you want to be negative? Jeez, man. Keep that bad mojo. Stop it. All right. Like some sage in here, man. With some blue and red on it. All right. But like I said, that will conclude today's show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay warm as well, man. And like I said, we appreciate you for rocking with us. And until next time, baby.
Peace.